to save him. A general gave the order sternly, and turned away without even noticing Hu Xian's painful struggle. Another 3 days passed. The black color on Hu Xian's body began to fade. And the pain also subsided. "Look, my husband is getting better." Chen Yuanian, who had been taking care of Hu Xian, shouted, "Everyone else is coming over here." The doctor immediately examined Hu Xian and was shocked. How is it possible that he can get better on his own? "Shut up, quack, if you dare to talk anymore, I will kill you." Izu also scolded angrily, thinking that not only did he not have good medical skills, but he could also curse people. The doctor looked embarrassed. But these people were all the general's guests, and he didn't dare to offend any of them. Night falls. Hu Xian regained consciousness. Ding! Because the host has been in a coma for 6 days and 7 nights, and has not completed the consumption task 13 times. The 13 kills have accumulated to a super kill, and the host is about to be super killed. Super kill countdown. 595,157. Hu Xian's expression changed drastically. Two outsiders, they thought something had happened to him. "Husband, are you okay?" Deng Yao and the others asked eagerly. Hu Xian had no time to pay attention to them. "System. Is there any way to extend my life?" Chapter 207, Sharing Life. If the heroine is willing, she can bind with the host and share life. There are 13 kills in total. 14 heroines are required to be willing to share life in order to survive. Chen Yuanian, Wei Nan, Zhu Shaikan, Zhang Luxian, Izu, Yanlishuan, Kai Yaoyun, Xing Xiaowan, and Deng Yao. If I were to die, I would need you to share my life with me in order to survive. Are you willing? I do, Chen Yuanian answered without hesitation. So would I. Finally everyone agreed. But there are only 9 people. 14 is needed. At this time, Zhang Chengcheng said, "I am willing too." Although Hu Xian didn't call her name, she figured it out in the past few days and accepted Hu Xian. Hu Xian glanced at her and nodded. But 10 people are not enough. System, I want to locate all the heroines. Ding. Ultra long distance positioning of the heroine. It will consume 10 million reinforcement points per second. Do you want to locate it? His life was about to be lost. So how could Hu Xian be reluctant to strengthen himself? Position. Ding. Congratulations to the host. The ultra long distance positioning of all the female protagonists has been successful. Immediately, the current images of all the heroines appeared in Hu Xian's mind. They were not together, but scattered all over the world. Some of them are busy at work, some are sleeping, some are shopping, and some are practicing. At the same time, there is also a degree of longing, and if it exceeds 100, it means that you miss it extremely. The worst is 101 in terms of missing, and the highest is 109. Immediately contact all the heroines on Earth. Huang Xingyu, Murong Feir, Xia Yine, Valia, Stephen, Emily, Polly, Judy, Nizier, Otilia, Agana, Agnes, Sophia, Piranha Plant. If I am going to die, I need you to share your life with me to survive. Are you willing? Honey, is that true? Honey, are you back? Honey, I miss you so much. When everyone heard Hu Xian's voice, they were extremely excited and looked around curiously, thinking that Hu Xian had returned. Where are you, husband? Come out soon, I miss you so much. Ding. Danger, danger, danger. Super kill countdown. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Hu Xian was so anxious that he asked loudly, "Wife, you haven't answered my question yet?" Wang Xingyu said, "Hubby, I am willing if you are going to die. I am willing to sacrifice my life to keep you alive." Ding. Huang Xingyu is willing to sacrifice her life to keep the host alive. Do you want to sacrifice Huang Xingyu? Hu Xian didn't even think about it and was definitely unwilling. Honey, I do, husband. They finally reacted and did not disappoint Hu Xian. Ding. Congratulations to the host. There are 23 heroines willing to share their lives with you. And you are qualified to live. Ding. New mission. Within 360 hours. Complete the consumption of 100 trillion gold coins. If the mission fails, both hands will be disabled for a year. If the mission is completed, the reward is 10,000 high-level strengthening pills. Hu Xian was overjoyed when he heard about this task. It seems that the 13th Therasur crisis is not completely without benefits. At least the consumption time has been extended to 360 hours. Or 15 days, the punishment has become lighter, but the reward has skyrocketed. And it feels like it's about to take off. Ding. Host. Please be aware that if any female protagonist dies, the host will be wiped out. Upon hearing this, Hu Xian, who was about to turn off the remote positioning of the heroine, was shocked. System, strengthen all 4 attributes of all my heroines on Earth by 10 million. Ding. Congratulations to the host, for strengthening the 4 attributes of the 14 female protagonists on Earth by 10 million each. consuming 560 million strengthening points, and the remaining strengthening points are 930. 49. Wow, hubby, I've become stronger. Has my strength given me power? Love you, hubby? All the herons on Earth were shocked when they felt the change in their power. Her love for Huaxian has reached its peak, and she believes that all the longing for him during this period is worth it. Thank you, honey, wait for me, I'll pick you up soon. I love you. Hubby, I love you too. The system locates all the female protagonists anyway. Ding, the host's ultra long distance positioning of the heroine took 18 seconds. 180 million enhancement points were deducted, and the remaining enhancement points are 750. 49 million points. Hubby, what's wrong with you? Don't scare me. Seeing Huaxian, Chen Yuanayan and others looking dazed with an anxious look on his face after his condition improved. They were very worried. After resolving the life and death crisis, Huaxian breathed a sigh of relief and said, "My dear wives, I'm fine, thank you. Honey, I'm glad you're okay. We were scared to death these days," Ganlish once said, patting her chest. Huaxian then checked his harvest. The poison resistance was 1 million points, which was extremely terrifying. But such poison resistance, you won't be afraid of ordinary poisons at all. Son-in-law, I heard that you woke up. The general's voice came from outside. Mrs. Fang Xin Lan also went with them. They were all delighted to see that Huaxian had really gotten better. Son-in-law, what happened to you before? The general asked with great curiosity. General, I have a poisonous body that is less resistant to most poisons. I can even resist the toxins of the gene-destroying fruit. This time something unexpected happened at the critical moment. Huaxian looked at Zhang Chengcheng. Needless to say, everyone understands what is going on. Zhang Chengcheng lowered his head in guilt and said weakly, "I can't hide." Chen Yuanayan said angrily, "You almost killed our husband. What's the point of saying sorry?" Seeing this, Huaxian quickly said, "Yuanayan, don't be like this. I'm fine. Besides, Cheng Cheng is my wife now. We are all family. Let's get along well." Then he stood up and got out of bed. "Son-in-law, you have just recovered. You should take good care of yourself and don't rush into any action," the general said with concern. He only has this one precious daughter. And now she is married to Huaxian, who is his biological son. So naturally he feels sorry for her. "Dad, I'm fine. Now the poison has been eliminated and my genetic power has been restored. I'm as good as new." "Son-in-law, don't force yourself. Do what you can," the general said majestically. He was very satisfied with Huaxian's address to him. "Dad, I'm really fine. Go ahead and do your work." "Well, my daughter and my wife, please stay and take care of your son-in-law." After saying that, he left. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have obtained the task reward for completing the consumption of the gene destruction fruit. Due to the delay in the reward, the special reward has been upgraded to a special reward package. Huaxian quickly checked the special reward package. The system opens the gift package. Ding, congratulations to the host for opening the special reward package. Get 10 billion reinforcement points, get the weapon Angel Blade, and get 100 million light at reduced points as a reward. Huaxian was ecstatic after seeing the reward. Just at this moment, Huaxian's communication device received a call. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be Chen Yuanayan's grandfather Chen Shukai calling. So I answered the call out of curiosity. "Grandson-in-law, where are you? Hurry back to the Star Realm Research Institute. Someone is forcing their way through the space passage you came through last time." "What?" Chapter 208, A Near Miss. Huaxian was horrified because he guessed that the one who broke into the space channel was probably the heroine whose strength he had increased by 10 million. When he came here, he had a force of billions and relied on all his means to rush over. Now he dared to force his way in with a force of tens of millions. He was simply courting death. System, lock on all the female protagonists immediately. No matter what it takes, Huaxian shouted in his heart. Ding, all female protagonists have been locked for the host. Ultra long-range locking, consuming 10 million reinforcement points per second. Huaxian immediately discovered that it was Valyo and Steven who forced their way through the space channel. Fortunately, they had just entered the space channel and did not encounter dark light. The next moment, a spatial blade rushed towards them. The two men sensed the danger, their faces turned pale, and they tried their best to avoid it. They also realized that their current strength was not enough to force their way through the space channel. They looked back and realized that it would not be easy to go back. Steven said, "Valya, are we going to die?" Although Valya was also afraid, she said firmly, "No, we won't die. My husband will definitely come to save us." Bloom. Finally, a dark light appeared and rushed towards them. "Damn it," Huaxian cursed in his heart. "System, locate Valya and Steven for me. And teleport them instantly. This is a special feature between the male and female protagonists. Ding, the host activates the instant teleportation function to the heroine's side. Long distance instant teleportation, consuming 1 billion reinforcement points. The next moment, Huaxian instantly disappeared in front of everyone. Those who watched Huaxian disappear screamed in surprise. Husband, where have you been? Everyone was panicking. In the space channel, Valio and Steven saw the dark light coming and felt an extremely strong sense of crisis. The two found that they could not avoid each other at all. So they held hands and hugged each other. Valia, I'm sorry I hurt you. I shouldn't have asked you to come with me to find your husband. Steven said in despair. Elia said, don't apologize. Even if you didn't call me, I would still want to come to my husband. I miss him so much. At the moment of destruction, Huaxian appeared. The two men only felt a tightening around their waists. And the next moment, they moved rapidly. The speed was so fast that they felt dizzy. By the time they adapted to the situation, they had already appeared in the deep sea. Feeling a familiar breath, Huaxian turned around suddenly and looked at them speechless. Lie. Hubby, it's really you. I knew you would come back to save us. Elia relied on his powerful strength to force away the seawater and shouted with great joy. System, turn off the female protagonist lock. Ding. Congratulations to the host, close the female protagonist lock. Consume 140 million reinforcement points in 14 seconds. Huaxian led them out of the sea and onto the land. And he scolded them. Why are you so impulsive? You dare to rush into the space tunnel at this moment. Facing Huaxian's pointing, both of them lowered their heads. Honey, I'm sorry, we just missed you so much, Valia said weakly. Well, let's leave it at that for now. Don't be so obedient next time. I can't happen to be near you every time. I know. Husband, I want to. Elia hugged Huaxian and kissed him passionately, venting the loneliness she had felt during this period. 3 hours later, Huaxian hugged Huang Xingyu and the others and sent messages to them, asking them to come to the bay to find him. Since they all want to follow me, I will take them to the genetic world to develop. System, activate the strengthening pills you encounter. Ding. Congratulations to the host, you have opened 15 intermediate strengthening pills and obtained 15 million strengthening points. The current strengthening points are 9,75049 billion points. Ding. Congratulations to the host, you have unlocked 420 advanced enhancement points and obtained 4.2 billion enhancement points. The current enhancement points are 13,95,049 billion points. 5 days later, the heroines who had traveled around the world came to Huaxian, and naturally they were all affectionate with the help of his affection. Huaxian strengthened therefore it reduced to the 100 million level, consuming 5.6 billion strengthening points. Honey, are you really going to take us to the genetic world? Huang Xingyu asked expectantly. Others also looked at him expectantly. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, I don't want you to go with me. Are you willing? Valio and Steven impulsively entered the space tunnel, and I almost lost sight of them. I'm afraid you have the same idea. Upon hearing this, everyone blushed. Of course they had such thoughts. But husband, that space tunnel is so dangerous, how are we going to get through it? Valio asked with lingering fear. Obviously, she still remembered the experience of that day vividly. Huaxian said, I was the only one who forced your way through. Now I have upgraded all 4 of your attributes to 100 million, which is equivalent to the 8th level gene realm. It won't be too dangerous for you to follow me. Husband, don't you want to go home and see your family? Mu Rongfei asked. No, there will be plenty of opportunities to come back later. Let's go, it's time to go. After entering the deep sea and arriving at that space, Huaxian said, let's hold hands and never let go, otherwise we will be caught in the space-time storm and that will be very dangerous. After saying that, the first one entered the space gate, and the others followed. Huang Xingyu and the others looked around with great curiosity. The endless starry sky with twinkling stars is very beautiful. Huaxian led everyone forward. Suddenly he discovered that the dark light in front of him was extremely dense and exuded a terrifying aura, which he could not block at all with his current level. Huang Xingyu and the others looked at the dark light with solemn expressions, realizing the horror of the space tunnel. Angel wings. Light attribute. Light-related superpowers. Angel blade. Huaxian used everything related to light attributes. Facing the dark light of the secret book coming from the tiger's roar, the angel blade burst out and slashed out. Boom! A blade of light flew hundreds of meters. What surprises everyone is that the power of light has an effect on the dark light. They held hands and were pulled by Huaxian, speeding up and rushing forward. Along the way, Huaxian used the power of light to clear the way and rushed out of the gate without any danger. Outside, Chen Shukai and the others are all waiting here. Chen Yuanian and the others were all there, all looking worried. Because the dark light inside is too terrifying, Even the powerful people at the 25th level of the genetic realm do not dare to enter at will. Just when they were getting anxiously awaited, a white light flashed. And the next moment, Huaxian and the others rushed out. When they saw Huaxian, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But when they saw the group of women behind him, Chen Yuanian and the others felt a strong sense of crisis. Beelia and the others noticed this group of women, and saw that there was something wrong with Huaxian's look. So they became very alert. Then, everyone's eyes fell on Huaxian, waiting for him to give an explanation. Chen Shukai and the others were relieved to see that Huaxian was fine. And they all walked away after seeing this situation. Chapter 209, Angel Tribe. Huaxian looked at the hostesses on both sides and said, "Let me introduce them. These are my wives on Earth. And these are my wives in the genetic world. We are all family. You can get to know each other." Wang Xingyu said speechlessly. "Husband, you have more than 20 wives in total. Are you really planning to build a harem?" Hearing this, Huaxian said somewhat awkwardly, "Wife, accidents are all accidents in this way. I will definitely treat it with caution in the future except for you." At this time, Yizu came over, handed the ringing communication device to Huaxian and said, "Honey, it's my ex calling." Murong Fer and the others were extremely shocked when they heard this. "Hubby, she already has a partner. Why are you still here?" "Don't ask me that, you will understand it later. I will answer the phone first." After the connection, an old man appeared in the folded projection image. Baoyu and the others looked at the high-tech communication equipment curiously. "Who are you? How did my wife's communicator end up in your hands?" The old man roared angrily. Huaxian said inferently, "I now order you to sever all ties with Yizu, otherwise, I will be rude to you." "But boy, who do you think you are? You are rude to me, so why don't you try to be rude to me?" The old man didn't buy Huaxian's trick at all. Then he said angrily, "Boy, you seduced a married woman, you. I'll spend the rest of your life in jail." After saying that, he hung up the phone. Huaxian smiled coldly, and immediately opened the program he had hacked into before. Started the program, controlled the old man's various weapons, and fired. Suddenly, laser weapons, missiles, and other weapons whizzed towards the old man. Under monitoring. Boom boom boom. Explosions sounded one after another. After about 5 minutes, the dust settled and there was no trace of the old man. "Dead?" Yizu muttered. "Well, I'm dead, my wife. You are free." "Thank you, husband, but, husband, you are violating the rules by doing this." "I am afraid." "Don't worry, what level of hacker am I? No one will find any traces, even those who can find traces will not touch us. Don't forget who we are now." Whoosh! A white light descended from the sky. Attracted everyone's attention. After seeing it clearly, everyone was stunned with shock. She was an angel with a pair of angel wings, a long white dress, long beautiful legs, and a beautiful face like a flower. "Honey, she looks like you when you transformed," Valia muttered. The angel looked around, as if looking for something, but found nothing and frowned. After a while, he looked at everyone and asked, "Have you seen anyone from my angel tribe?" Huaxian asked curiously, "What do you want to do with him?" The angel beauty looked at Huaxian and said, "So you know where he is? Tell me quickly." "You have to tell me first. What do you want to do with him?" "My angel tribe should not appear in the human world. So if he is a traitor, I will kill him. What if he isn't? Then I will take him back to the angel tribe." At this time, Chenshu dared to come and was shocked to see the angel. This is one of the most powerful races in the genetic world. "We did see the angel, but he rushed into the out-of-control door." Huaxian lied. The beautiful angel rushed over, and after feeling it, she found that there was indeed residual angel-like power inside. So she believed what Huaxian said. He took action immediately. And the terrifying angel light burst out, attacking the portal. Boom! Chen Shukai watched with heartache as his years of hard work were destroyed. The angel beauty remembered everything that happened last night and came to Huaxian in an instant. As fast as light. It was very close to Huaxian, getting closer and closer. And he could smell something. Finally, when she was about to kiss Huaxian, she frowned and said, "Why do I feel that there is a light power in you?" Huaxian smelled the pleasant fragrance belonging to the angel beauty and almost couldn't control himself and pulled her into his arms. The light-related superpowers burst out. The angelic beauty frowned and said, "Is it just a light-related superpower?" And he looked into Huaxian's eyes and asked, "Are you willing to come with me and be my servant?" Huaxian rolled his eyes and said, "Then are you willing to stay and be my wife?" "Huan, will you marry me?" the beautiful angel asked excitedly. Huaxian said boldly, "If you dare to marry, I will marry you." The angel beauty smiled and said, "Okay, I'll marry you." Then he kissed Huaxian on the forehead. Chen Shukai exclaimed, "Angel's kiss, are you the saint of the angel clan?" Ding! Get the angel's kiss and increase the power of light by 100 times. Huaxian asked in shock, what is angel's kiss? The angel beauty said personally. The angel's kiss is only possessed by the saints of the angel race. It is a way for the saints to express their love. The creature who receives the angel's kiss is the man chosen by the saint. I am honored that you have been chosen by me. Why did you choose me? This should be the first time we meet, Huaxian asked curiously. Because I sensed the breath of a holy angel in you. Only the incomparably holy power of light can dispel the dark light. You came from that dimension, and you dispelled the dark light. So you are a holy angel, or you are the reincarnation of a holy angel. Huaxian rolled his eyes. I can't be a holy angel, you must be mistaken. I thought to myself, all my powers are obtained through lotteries or special rewards. I am not a holy angel, I am not even a reincarnation. No, you are the one. The holy angel received the angel's kiss, which can increase the power of light by 100 times. You should have it, right? And he leaned close to Huaxian's ear and whispered, I'll tell you a secret. If the holy angel obtains the saint's perfect body, the power of the angel's kiss will be increased to a terrifying 1,0 times, and all attribute strength will be permanently increased by 10 times. Hearing such benefits, Huaxian's heart beat faster. Subconsciously asked, then what good can you do? The angel beauty said, I also got a lot, such as the angel light, which turned into angel holy light. And its power increased greatly. For example, my strength increased a lot. It depends on the amount of holy light in your body. Okay then, I am the holy angel, Huaxian admitted. And follow me back to the angel realm. No, noticing that the angel beauty's expression was not right, he changed his words and said, I mean not going now. So you're going to keep falling into the human world? I am a human being, right? Huaxian said as a matter of course. The angel beauty finally reacted and asked, how did you do that? How did you do that? I am a human being. I evolved into a holy angel, but I haven't evolved completely yet. And you can come with me to the holy pond of light and bathe there. And then you can complete your evolution. No hurry. Let's go to the bridal chamber first. Chapter 210. Crazy Transfer. Huaxian hugged the angel beauty and disappeared from everyone's sight. Boom. A terrifying force of light exploded in the sky. And it was clearly visible within a radius of 10 miles. Which was extremely shocking. You also said that I am a holy angel. My holy light is not afraid of the light power in your body at all. So, it's useless even if you are stronger than me. The beautiful angel said, depressed lie. I can also do what you want, but you must come back to the angel realm with me. Huaxian smiled and said, now, I am your Mando. You know what it means to follow your husband? You are my woman, and you have to follow me wherever I go. You go, do you understand? After saying that, he kissed her, demanding it madly. Afterwards, Huaxian also summoned the angel wings. And the two intersected, rolled, and merged into one in the cloud city. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the nourishment of the saint's body. The angel's kiss has increased by 1,000 times. And all attributes have been permanently increased by 10 times. Huaxian suddenly felt something changing inside his body. Looking at his 4 attributes again, they had actually increased to 100 trillion. A qualitative change had occurred, and he possessed 10 evolutionary genes. In other words, he had broken through to the 16th level genetic realm. What surprised Huaxian the most was that his divine power increased tenfold, reaching 1001 points. Poison resistance directly increased from 1 million to 10 million. A number of special genes also increased from 100 trillion to 100 billion. I didn't expect that combining with the Saint of the Angel clan would have such a good effect. Of course, the angel beauty has changed a lot too. The most direct thing is that his angel light turned into angel holy light and was no longer suppressed by Huaxian. The terrifying pressure erupted. Whoosh! A black shadow fell from the sky to the ground. Boom! There was a loud bang and a big hole was created on the ground. Huaxian was lying in the pit, speechlessly looking at the beautiful angel who had fallen from the sky. He was not seriously injured, just a little disheveled. I told you to bully me. Are you still bullying me now? The beautiful angel asked coldly. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, Wife, we are husband and wife, are you being too harsh? You just took me by force without my consent. Why didn't you say you were too ruthless? Wife, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be so strong. By the way, what realm are you in now? The angel beauty glared at Huaxian and said, You are harming me. When your holy light realm becomes stronger, we can combine and gain more benefits. Now there is none. As for my realm, you can't catch up even if you practice for 10,000 years. What realm is that? Evolutionary gene level 25. Do you think you can catch up? Also, my name is Biu. Don't call me wife. I'm not your wife until you come back to the Holy Land with me. Biu, don't be so sure. Maybe if I show you a few tricks, You'll fall in love with me. Husband. What did you say before? Now you have picked up another girl. Wang Xingyu and the others arrived above the big pit. More than 20 people surrounded Hu Xian and looked at him who was naked. Hu Xian quickly got up, put on his clothes, then flew out with Bau in his arms. Come on, wise, I'll cook for you myself. Speaking of cooking, anyone who has tasted the delicious food made by Hu Xian will start drooling. Hubby, hurry up. A group of people started to urge. As for Hu Xian looking for women, they have gotten used to it. I can't stop it, but I can't bear to leave. Ding, it is detected that the gene realm of the 14 heroines is lower than level 10. Host, please raise the realm of the 14 heroines to level 10 within 3 days. If the task fails, one arm of the host will be permanently abolished. If the task is completed, you will be rewarded with 1 evolution gene point. When Hu Xian heard this task, he was stunned for a moment. In just 3 days, he managed to upgrade 14 heroines to level 10. Even if the 4 attributes were not upgraded, just the strength upgrade would be 10 billion for each person, which means 140 billion enhancement points. There seems to be no other way except to complete tasks that cost money. Hu Xian finally understood that the system was asking him to complete the spending tasks when the time came, forcing him to spend money. System, transfer 100 trillion gold coins to Zhang Luxian. Ding, congratulations to the host, within 360 hours. You have completed the consumption of 100 trillion gold coins and received a reward of 10. Zari Ligil strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Within 360 hours, complete the consumption of 200 trillion gold coins. If you fail the mission, your hands will be disabled for a year. If you complete the mission, you will be rewarded with 10. Zarai Libel strengthening pills. Zhang Luxian stared at Hu Xian in amazement and said, Husband, why did you transfer 100 trillion gold coins to me? Do you treat me as an outsider? He was extremely sad and looked like he was about to cry. Others also looked at Hu Xian curiously. Hu Xian said, Wife, you think too much. I am worried that you don't have money to spend. It's not just you, but also the people around you. System. Transfer 200 trillion gold coins to my wife Chen Yuanian. Ding, congratulations to the host. Transfer 200 trillion gold coins to Chen Yuanian. Complete the task in excess of the quota within 1 minute and receive a reward of 100. Zayuro advanced strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Within 360 hours, complete the consumption of 300 trillion gold coins. If the mission fails, the punishment is that both arms will be disabled for 1 year. If the mission is completed, you will be rewarded with 10 Zerisai level strengthening pills. Next, Wei Nan. Next one. Zushai Kaun. System, transfer 250 trillion gold coins to the man-eating flower. Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 250 trillion gold coins within 48 hours, and exceeded the task within 10 seconds, and received a reward of 100 Zerisai level strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Within 24 hours, complete the consumption of 260 trillion gold coins. Failure of the mission will result in permanent paralysis of the limbs, and completion of the mission will be rewarded with 10 Zero advanced strengthening pills. The transfer of the last piranha plant has also been completed. There were 25 people in total, and Hu Xian transferred money 25 times in one breath, and each person received 1 million more than the previous one. Such a horrifying transfer made Chen Yuanian and the others stunned, and they couldn't recover for a long time. Hu Xian excitedly looked at the accumulated 141 perfect advanced strengthening pills, because the people behind took no more than 10 seconds to transfer money. Each time they received an excess reward of 100,000 high-level strengthening pills. Although the consumption time was shortened from 360 pills to 24 hours, the reward was very generous. System, open all the strengthening pills for me. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have opened 41 million advanced enhancement pills and obtained 1 trillion enhancement points. The system will strengthen the 4 attributes of all the female protagonists on Earth by 200 billion points. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have strengthened all the female protagonists on Earth by 200 billion points, consuming 11.2 trillion strengthening points. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the mission and upgraded all the female protagonists on Earth to the 10th level of Gene Realm. You will be rewarded with 1 evolution gene point. Ding, new mission, within 10 days, raise the realm of all the female protagonists on Earth to the 11th level of Gene Realm. Failure of the mission will punish the host with permanent paralysis. Completing the mission will reward 2 evolution gene points. Chapter 211, System forces you to spend money. As expected, he was forced to spend money all the time. The system transferred 260 trillion gold coins to Zhang Luxian. Ding, the host cannot transfer money to the same person multiple times. Consumption failed. At this time, we have returned to the Star Boundary Research Institute. Chen Shukai came over to greet him. Grandson-in-law. You're back? Looking at Huaxian's large group of wives, including the saint of the Angel clan, Chen Shukai admired him very much. Grandpa, you are short of funds. Give me your account number and I will invest in you. Okay, I'm worried about my running out of funds, Chen Shukai said as he took out the payment account. Chen Yuanian said, Grandpa, my husband has a lot of gold coins. If you are short of money, don't be polite to him. Don't worry. Grandpa won't be polite. System transfer 260 trillion gold coins to Chen Shukai. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 260 trillion gold coins within 24 hours and received a reward of 10,000 advanced strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Complete the consumption of 270 trillion gold coins within 24 hours. Failure of the mission will result in permanent quadriplegia. Completing the mission will earn you 10,000 advanced strengthening pills as a reward. Chen Shukai was overjoyed when he saw the 270 trillion gold coins that arrived in his account. Grandson-in-law, you are really generous. Grandpa, my husband is going to cook. The food he cooks is delicious. Hurry up. Huaxian walked towards the kitchen speechless lie. Thinking about the 25 wives, plus Deng Zhongyi and Chen Shukai. There are more people than can fit at 3 large tables. Huaxian suddenly realized that cooking was a hassle. Fortunately, he is strong enough now. If he were an ordinary person and married so many wives, he would probably be too busy to serve them every day. Only then did I realize that having many wives is not necessarily a good thing. But he has found so many wives, so he has no choice but to accept it. It took Huaxian 3 full hours, multitasking, to finally prepare 3 tables of delicious food. Everyone ignored Huaxian's hard work and gathered around the table to eat. Wow, delicious, so delicious, so delicious. Those who ate Huaxian's cooking for the first time screamed. Deng Zhongyi took a bite in disbelief. Oh my god, there are such delicious dishes in the world. Chen Shukai also tasted it suspiciously, and immediately expressed his excitement. Great job, grandson-in-law. Not only does he have a strong genetic level, but his cooking skills are also so amazing. Hubby, our lives will be handed over to you from now on. Hearing this, Huaxian's face was full of bitterness. There were simply too many of these people. What's the use of having many wives? On one bed, it is enough to hug 2 people on each side. Now there are more than 20 of them. How can we serve them all? After dinner, everyone had a big belly, but even so, they still looked like they were not full. Grandson-in-law, you have to stay for a few more days to help me satisfy my craving, Chen Shukai said. Huaxian was speechless. At this time, Zhang Chengcheng's phone rang. Seeing that it was my father calling, I quickly answered the call. Dad, what can I do for you? Daughter, is your son-in-law here? Dad, I'm here. Let him answer the call. Honey, Dad asked you to answer the phone. Hey, father-in-law, what's going on? Son-in-law, are you done with your work? If you are, hurry back to the military headquarters. There is a situation on the battlefield, and all major military regions are required to send reinforcements. I want to give you some extra rank to pave the way for your promotion later. Battlefield? Chen Yuanian's previous blind date was on the battlefield, and Huaxian had been curious about the battlefield for a long time, so he immediately agreed. Okay, we'll set off to meet the military headquarters right away. Honey, is Dad going to arrange for you to go to the battlefield? Zhang Chengcheng asked. Well, to the battlefield. Do you want to go together? Yes, the girls said in unison. Chen Shukai frowned and said, My grandson-in-law, the battlefield is not a good place. Although many people want to go there to gild themselves. If no one is left alive, they will lose their lives. There are alien races rampant there, and there are also extraterritorial creatures and alien creatures. It is extremely chaotic. You should think carefully before making a decision. Do you want to take them there? Grandpa, I want to go with my husband, Chen Yuanian said immediately. Chen Shukai frowned and asked sternly, Have you forgotten how your parents disappeared? Grandpa, my parents might still be alive. I want to go find them. Nonsense, if they were still alive they would have returned long ago. Grandpa, I'll be fine as long as my husband is here. I'll go even if you don't let me. Huaxian said, Grandpa, don't worry unless I die. I will never let any of my wives get into trouble. Besides, we are going there on behalf of the military. So there are still many benefits. Chen Yuanian said. That's right, Grandpa, I am also a soldier in the Southeast military region now. Hey, whatever you want. After that, he said to Huaxian seriously. My granddaughter is the only girl in my Chen family. You must take good care of her. Grandpa, don't worry. Even if I die, I will be ahead of them. I thought to myself, if they die, I will die too. How can I not fight for them? Okay, I believe you, kid. Then Grandpa, the military is still waiting. So we'll leave now. Let's go, Wise, back to the military area. When Jiang Cheng and his companions came, they took a military aircraft. And of course they took the same aircraft when they returned. It wouldn't take much time to get back to the military area at sublight speed. On the aircraft, Biu said, it's okay for them to go to the battlefield. But if they go to the battlefield, they will just die. The last people to talk about are Huang Xingyu and others. These words also made Huang Xingyu and the others look very unhappy. Huaxian said, I know, so my goal is to make my wife strong in the shortest possible time. As for danger, don't I have you, my wife? I'm not afraid as long as you're here. Biu shook his head and said, we, the Angel Clan, have signed the 10,000 clan agreement, and will not interfere in the affairs of the major battlefields. Major battlefields. Wife, do you mean that there are many battlefields? Huaxian became curious. Of course there are many. The battlefield in our genetic world is just one of them. And it is a small battlefield. There are battlefields in many other worlds. And even void battlefields. Then can we also go to the battlefield on other people's planets? Huaxian asked expectantly. Yes, you can go, of course. Because of the space channel, not everyone on every planet can go to other people's battlefields. The key is to look at the development strength of the planet. Otherwise, let alone going to other battlefields, you can't even defend your own battlefield. What awaits you is destruction. And what is the overall strength of our genetic world? Weak, pitifully weak, but every world has an alliance. Although we are weak, our alliance is strong with the alliance. Other enemies must abide by the rules. What rules? Husband, you don't even know this, are you from the genetic world? Biu asked speechless lie. Jiang Cheng on the side introduced. Husband, the rule is that people over 500 years old are not allowed to enter the battlefield. Otherwise it is a violation. Oh my god, there is still such a restriction? He muttered to himself, looked at Biu and asked. Wife, how old are you? Chapter 212, Understanding the Battlefield. Biu rolled his eyes and said, do you think I'm big? Huaxian looked at a certain spot and said, it's still not small. Biu reacted and shouted angrily. Rogue, I'm 298 years old. 200 makes you 18 years old. So you are at level 25 of the evolutionary gene? When others heard Huaxian's words, they were also extremely shocked. 298 years old. And he has the terrifying evolutionary gene level 25? It's unimaginable. I thought, even if you are an angel, this is too scary, right? Biu's wife is really amazing. She is less than 300 years old, and has already reached the 25th level of evolutionary gene emergency. It's no use praising me even if I enter the battlefield with you. I won't interfere. What if someone comes looking for you? Wife? Then he is seeking death. That's it, you are my wife. Do you still want to be with me? Huaxian asked. Biu Quanfan rolled his eyes and said, I realize that you are just using me as a bodyguard or a shield. You are wrong. If there is danger, I will be the first to rush to the front and will never use my wife as a shield. As they were chatting, the super aircraft had arrived at the southeast military region. Huaxian took the lead and rushed out. The soldiers on duty nearby were extremely envious when they saw the large group of beauties. Their eyes were wide open and some were even drooling. Huang Xingyu and the others were extremely curious about everything here. Fortunately, they did not ask Huaxian any questions and had already become friends with Zhang Luxian and the others. Zhang Luxian and her friends also became the best guides for Huang Xingyu and her friends. Huaxian looked back and was relieved to see how happily they were getting along. Only Biu, as an angel, is too cold and aloof and not sociable at all. Soon we arrived at the general's office. The son-in-law is back. Seeing Huaxian, the general stood up enthusiastically and greeted him. Ever since Huaxian disappeared out of thin air that day, he asked someone to do some research and came to the conclusion that it was teleportation that could only be performed by gods. And there was no one nearby, and it was long-range teleportation. Anyone who can do this, even if he himself is not a god, must have a god behind him. How could he not pay attention to such a son-in-law? Even mother-in-law Fang Xin Lan looked at Huaxian differently. I thought to myself, the more I looked at it, the more beautiful it became, and I was almost attracted to it. The more I learned about it, the more shocked I was. This son-in-law was actually a level 13 hacker. His genetic level was also terrifyingly high, and he was also a miracle doctor. Each of these qualities would be extremely shocking on its own. But they all appeared in one person. He was so outstanding. In this world where the strong are respected, outstanding men are always the most attractive. Mom and Dad, we're back, Huaxian greeted. Zhang Yi and Fang Xin both looked behind Huaxian, and were stunned at the sight of that group of beauties. After a while, Fang Xin said speechless lie, son-in-law, I know you are very good, but you have found too many wives. Aren't you too fickle? Huan Xingyu and the others immediately echoed. Auntie, he is just a playboy, he will find a bunch of wives wherever he goes. That's right, when he was in our hometown, he already had more than a dozen wives. After coming here, he found many more, he is so philandering. Hu Xian said bitterly. Mom, I actually regret it now. I have too many wives, not only am I too busy to sleep, but even cooking is as exhausting as hosting a big banquet. Hearing this, Mu Rongfeir and the others all laughed. They said in unison, who told you to be a playboy? That's right, you deserve it if you continue to be unfaithful. It will be even worse in the future. Hu Xian quickly said. I won't be fickle anymore unless someone is special and outstanding like Bau. I won't be tempted. By the way, Mom and Dad, let me introduce you. They are the wives from my hometown, they just came here. So they are very curious about everything. They are all my daughters. Hu Xian smiled and said, both. He turned around and looked at Valya and the others and said, why don't you call Mom and Dad? Valya and the others were used to it. And shouted, Mom and Dad. Because they all followed Hu Xian and learned the Long Jiuo language. Furthermore, this genetic world is dominated by the Dragon Country language. For a powerful genetic warrior, learning a new language is not a difficult thing. Okay, you are all my precious daughters, this is the first time we meet. So I have to give you a gift. I don't have anything good to give. So I will take the risk of being punished and enlist you all in the military. It just so happens that the battlefield is recruiting soldiers. And you are both the son-in-law's wives, so follow him to the battlefield and make good achievements, so that you can get promoted in the future. Seeing Hu Xian's casual and nonchalant look, a general said, son-in-law, don't underestimate the benefits of military achievements. Those with excellent military achievements can be directly deployed to the Dao Alliance. Alliance? Hu Xian was very curious about the more powerful alliance above. Yes, it is an alliance, that way we can go to a larger battlefield and obtain more training resources. Cultivation resources. Hu Xian became puzzled. Son-in-law, you don't even know about training? Let me tell you. In addition to achievements and battle records, the most tempting thing on the battlefield is the training resources that can improve your cultivation. Those alien races, aliens, etc. all have cultivation resources that can improve our cultivation. Of course, the genetic power in our bodies is also the cultivation resource they need. Therefore, the hostile forces will fight to the death. Don't even think about marrying a beautiful enemy woman. But those alien beauties, I tell you, are all extremely beautiful. And in their own worlds, they are all amazing geniuses. In short, only those under 500 years old can enter the battlefield. So everyone on the battlefield is a genius. Is there no limit on cultivation level? Hu Xian asked. The general said, no, but their cultivation is too low. Going to the battlefield is just suicide, so those with low cultivation will not go back to the battlefield unless they have a problem with their brains. Hearing this, Huan Xingyu and the others lowered their heads in embarrassment. Although Hu Xian has helped them improve their cultivation several times in a row, and they feel that they are very powerful, there is still a huge gap compared to Chen Yuanian and the others. A general also noticed their embarrassment and hurriedly said, don't worry, I didn't say anything bad about you, although you are a little weak. You can still get some results with your son-in-law and others. In fact, many of the children of wealthy nobles who did not attend would find those powerful masters and geniuses, pay them a large price, and take them to gild their skills. So, it's not surprising that you will encounter many people with low cultivation when you go to the battlefield. There are also some stubborn weaklings who want to try their luck. In short, the battlefield is very chaotic. Dad, we got it. So when are we going to the battlefield? Your military status has been reduced. Once you change into your military uniforms, you can gather at Ruokang City. There, you will board a spaceship to the battlefield. Chapter 213, The Glorious History of Earth. On the super aircraft flying to the city of Ruokang, Hu Xian and his men were all wearing military uniforms. Looking handsome and heroic, with an imposing temperament, especially Hu Xian, the shoulder straps of the 3-star general are very dazzling, and he is also the highest commander of the Southeast Military Region who is going to the battlefield this time. Including Hu Xian himself, Deng Zhongyi, and his 25 wives. A total of 27 people went to the battlefield. Zhang Chengcheng said at this time, the battlefield is unpredictable and extremely dangerous. I hope we can all come back alive. When Hu Xian heard this, he rolled his eyes and said, Chengcheng, my wife, what are you talking about? As long as I am not dead, every one of you will come back alive. Seeing Hu Xian so confident, those who were nervous at heart all breathed a sigh of relief. Even Yizu and the others were unsure about going to the battlefield. Just because of rumors, the battlefield was so cruel. It was simply hell on earth. Once upon a time, the battlefield was lost. and countless alien races, extraterrestrials, and extraterrestrial creatures broke into the human world. The battlefield was a point, and an area of 1 million miles fell. The death toll exceeded 10 billion, most of whom were ordinary people who were brutally killed. This history has become a sorrow for all of humanity, as well as for the alliance between humans and alien races, stimulating everyone all the time. Therefore, the battlefield is an environment that every human genius must experience. Countless people who are not geniuses also want to go there to gild their reputation. Even if you just go to the battlefield and leave your name on it. It is an honor. Honey, aren't we holding us back since we're so weak? Tilia said. My wives, you have never held me back. You are my life and my treasures. I love you. Huaxian's sincere words moved them all very much. Huaxian's words were also from the bottom of her heart. After all, she now shared life with all the heroines except Bau. And he would be buried with anyone who died. Deng Zhongyi said speechless lie. Brother-in-law, I feel like I am superfluous. Huaxian chuckled and said, it's good that you have this awareness. Everyone laughed. Deng Zhongyi said shamelessly, after all, you are my brother-in-law. Otherwise you really can't survive. Next, everyone learned about the battlefield. Bau knew the most about the battlefield, and she could answer almost any question anyone asked. Sister Bau, have you ever been to the battlefield? Judy asked. Although Bau is aloof, he will answer everyone's questions. He said calmly, when I was a kid, I didn't know any better and secretly went to the battlefield. Wife, it seems that you are very naughty, Huaxian said with a big laugh. It's like you're not naughty enough to disappear. When I was a kid, I wasn't naughty and was really obedient. 5 hours later, we arrived at the city of Ruokang. This is a very large mechanized city, probably because of the request for support from the battlefield. Countless military aircraft from various military regions or large cities flew into the city of Ruokang. Zhang Chengcheng couldn't help but say, I didn't expect that so many people would come to request support on the battlefield this time. Even if there are an average of 20 people in each base, we have more than 1,000 bases here. When Huaxian heard this, he exclaimed, that's more than 20,000 people, right? Yeah, that's why I said there were a lot of people. And they are all geniuses under 500 years old. I didn't expect that there are so many geniuses in our Jiayut province. That's right, the city of Ruokang is an important city in the province of Jiayut and the only fully militarized city. After undergoing Ultratech inspection, Huaxian and his cruise aircraft successfully flew into the city. The entire city of Ruokang is a completely technological city, with nothing non-technological. It is very huge compared with Seoul. It is probably equivalent to 10 times the size of Seoul. Seoul with a population of over 100 million is already very large, magnificent, and imposing. Not only Huaxian and his group, but also other people who came to Ruokang city for the first time were extremely shocked by the aura of Ruokang city. Honey, I found that our Earth is so small, said Nidia. Huaxian nodded and said, yes, compared to the genetic world. The Earth is indeed too small, there is not even a battlefield on the trail. When Bau heard about the Earth, he said, Earth is small. But there are many evil spirits. More than 30 of the leaders in our genetic world are creatures from Earth. There are also many creatures from your Earth among the leaders of the Alliance. Hearing this, everyone was very surprised. They didn't expect the Earth to be so powerful. Sister Bau, can you tell us about the Earth you know? Sophia asked curiously. Bau said coldly, when the battlefield existed, it should have been hundreds of millions of years ago. The major planets were very weak and almost became colonies of alien races. Extraterrestrial creatures, and extraterritorial creatures. All the native creatures on the planets became slaves. At that time, a group of powerful outsiders poured in. They entered the planet and brutally hunted down alien races. Extraterritorial creatures and alien creatures. They also organized local creatures, led them to become strong, and fought back. Finally, those extraterritorial creatures, alien races, and alien creatures were driven into a corner, which is now the battlefield. And why don't they just destroy the space through which alien creatures enter the planet? Agnes asked curiously. They said that it's useless to destroy or seal it. The enemy is strong and will continue to attack us. Only by leaving a battlefield for humans and local creatures to fight. And they become stronger and last forever. That makes sense. That's why the current genetic world is more powerful than it was before. By more than 1 billion times. Are we Earthlings so powerful? What about us? Huang Xingyu said bitterly. Bau said. I don't know what happened on your Earth, but now there are many powerful bloodlines that are passed down from your Earth ancestors. And they are always proud to think that they are Earthlings. So, as Earthlings from Earth, you are worthy of pride and respect. Because without your ancestors saving us and leading the worlds to rise, perhaps humanity would have perished. Huaxian said. Don't be surprised the Earth hundreds of millions of years ago was probably in the primitive age. The civilization at that time was completely different from the present. So it is normal that the Earth is strong and there are many strong people coming out of it. Thalia said firmly. Then we must work harder we must not bring shame to the Earth. We can't bring shame to the Earth. Stephen Murong Feir and all the others became determined and swore in their hearts that they would never bring shame to the Earth or to their ancestors. When I think about how great my ancestors were, I can't help but feel excited. It turns out that my ancestors are so worthy of pride. Beu warned, you are still weak now, it is best not to expose your identity as an Earthling. Otherwise you don't know whether it is good or bad. Chapter 214, Countless Races. The aircraft is positioned and landed at the designated location. There is no way. There are too many aircraft from various military forces arriving from the Jiaut province. The use of the airport must be strictly controlled. And the aircraft must be parked in the positioning area in an orderly manner. Otherwise it will affect the landing of other aircraft. Of course, this is a matter of the aircraft itself, which is highly intelligent after all. Huaxian and his friends got off the aircraft and looked around curiously. They were shocked by what they saw. Because they discovered that it's not just humans. What race is that? Thalia asked with great curiosity. She said it refers to people with horns on their heads or features like tiger tails. Zhang Cheng said, I know, it's the demon race. Although they are similar to creatures from outside the domain. They are our native demon race and also our human allies. That's the Sea Tribe. The beauties of the Sea Tribe are so beautiful. The eyes of the Sea Tribe are very special, all dark blue. And they also have very obvious Sea Tribe characteristics on their bodies. Oh my god, even people from the Scorpion and Spider tribes are here. In fact, the people who came here came from all over the province of Giluti, and they were all curious about seeing each other as strangers. Huang Xingyu said, I didn't expect that there are so many races in the genetic world. Diayu said, in the genetic world, we humans are not the only ones who have genetic evolution, so it is very normal for there to be other races. Hearing this, everyone felt relieved. Angels. How come there are angels among us humans? Someone said in shock when he saw Bau. Countless people looked over. They were all extremely shocked. Someone asked, don't angels not participate in battles? Bau looked at Huaxian and asked, is there any way to solve my identity problem? System, how do we hide the identity of the White Feather Angel clan? Ding, just transform the shield. It will consume 1000 strengthening points per second. Although 1000 reinforcement points sounds like a lot. In fact, there are not many reinforcement points in the billions that can be given to Huaxian. It Bau a shield modification. Ding, Bau's angel identity is transformed and shielded. The next moment, under the gaze of countless people, Bau changed and turned into a beautiful human being in a white long dress. Bau felt the changes in himself and was extremely shocked. Hubby, you can really do it. I was so excited that I called Huaxian hubby for the first time. Bau was really excited now that his identity problem was solved. He could venture into the human world with confidence and boldness. Oh my god, what's going on? They were angels just now. TSK, you're overthinking it. Angels are so aloof. How could they possibly appear in our human world? It's obviously a high-tech special effect disguise. When the special effect expires, they will return to their original appearance. However, this beauty is really beautiful. She is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. I don't know if she has a boyfriend. Are you stupid? I heard her calling that boy hubby. Aren't there many other beautiful women? We still have a chance, right? What are you doing? Your mission is to go to the battlefield, not to talk about love and pick up girls. Sure enough, all men are the same when they see the beauties from different clans. They start talking about them everywhere. They are all young men. And they are all talking about how to win those beauties. This immediately aroused the angry curses from the military control department of our Yuokang city. Everyone, go to the left, gather at the next square, and receive a lecture. Everyone then gave up the discussion and headed to the square next door. But along the way, he was looking at the beauties of other tribes. We soon arrived at the next square, and looking around, we saw that it was filled with countless teams. They also looked at the entrance curiously. And when they saw the beauties, their eyes lit up. I thought that if I went to the battlefield, there would be a chance. One person comes out, two people go back. In fact, this is also the goal of many people after all. Those who can go to the battlefield are either geniuses or children of wealthy aristocrats. If they are combined together, it will be a powerful alliance. So it is natural for everyone to choose a spouse. Beautiful lady. Please leave me your contact information. A young man, ignoring the soldiers from the military control department of our Yuokang city, bravely walked up to Bau and asked. There is no way. As angels, they are extremely beautiful. Even if they become humans, they are still as beautiful as fairies. What surprised everyone was that when the soldiers from the military control department saw the young man coming to Bau to ask for his contact information, they just took a look and did not stop him. From this we can see that the identity of this young man is very unusual. Bau took Hu Xian's arm and smiled sweetly. I have to ask my husband if he agrees. This smile stunned everyone nearby. It's so beautiful. That's the most beautiful smile I've ever seen. The young man was also stunned. He stared at Bau and swore that even if he was not a virgin, he would definitely take her down. His eyes shifted to Hu Xian. Boy, name your price. How much do you want to give this beautiful lady to me? Get lost. What do you think my wife is, a commodity? Hu Xian cursed mercilessly. Then he added, I'm warning you. A man like you who treats women as commodities will never find a woman who truly loves you in this life. Also, don't look down on women, they may be better than you. After Hu Xian finished speaking, he held Bau in one hand and Huang Xingyu beside him in the other, and walked towards the direction of the southeast military region. Snap, snap, snap. Hu Xian's words made countless women, regardless of their race, applaud him enthusiastically. Then these women looked at Hu Xian curiously, thinking that he was a good man. The young man's face looked extremely ugly. What made him most angry was that this guy actually caught him and instantly won the favor of all the women in the audience. He was so cunning. He watched Hu Xian's back as he walked away, remembered it deeply, and did not turn against him at this time. He returned to his own team. Hu Xian led everyone to his own team and closed his eyes to rest. After waiting for 3 full hours, more than 1,000 teams finally arrived. The smallest group has only a few people, and the largest has 30 or 40 people. The total number is actually close to 30,000, and this is just the geniuses in one province. More importantly, the Jirat province is not a very large province in the Tianlong kingdom, but is of medium size. Now that everyone is here, all we can do is wait patiently. They all looked around curiously. After all, they are all geniuses from all over the place, and it is not easy to control the people in the military control department as strictly. No one wants to know that one of them will become a big boss in the future. So it is best not to offend them if possible. Therefore, as long as everyone does not overdo it, looking around, whispering and discussing is normal. At this time, a beautiful woman with a human upper body and a scorpion lower body walked towards Hu Xian and his team. It immediately attracted a lot of people's attention. This is a true scorpion beauty. Chapter 215, The God of War is a fellow earthling. There is also a scorpion icon on the forehead of this scorpion beauty. When the people from the military control department saw the scorpion icon, they were so frightened that they didn't dare to stop it. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the scorpion beauty came to Hu Xian's team and said to Hu Xian in the Dragon Country language, Hello, my name is Scorpion Meyer, can we be friends? Hu Xian looked at the other person curiously, especially his lower body and long legs, wondering how he would proceed if they entered the bridal chamber. Have you seen enough? Zimeir didn't expect Hu Xian to be so rude, and said angrily, Oh sorry, this is just the first time I've seen you scorpion people, so I'm extremely curious, please forgive me. By the way, my name is Hu Xian, and I'm glad to be your friend. Zimeir did not shake hands with Hu Xian directly because she was very dissatisfied with Hu Xian's performance just now. He stared at Hu Xian for a while, and seeing his pure eyes, he stretched out his hand to shake his hand and said, Are they all your wives? Hey, how did you know that? Hu Xian was surprised. Because the way they look at you is full of love. A very pure love. It shows that they follow you willingly, not by force. That proves that what you just said to your human genius Shi Jintian was not a joke. However, if you offend the genius of your human race, you must be careful. There are rumors that he is very stingy and will take revenge. After saying this, he deliberately looked at Shi Jintian. Hu Xian said distaphonially, He's just a clown. He probably just said he was a genius of the human race. Hearing Hu Xian's words, countless people of countless races were shocked. However, they could not see through Hu Xian's realm, which was concealed by the system. Not only Hu Xian, but also Huang Xingyu and the others' realm. No one present could see through it. So I dare not say anything careless. Shi Jintian couldn't stand hearing that his genius identity was being questioned. He walked over angrily and said, Boy, come out and fight if you dare. Hu Xian looked at him with disdain and said, With your mentality, you got irritated before I even said anything unpleasant. Do you deserve to be a genius? Also, trash like you is not qualified to fight me. Zimeir didn't expect Hu Xian to be so arrogant. But she admired him. She took out her communication device and said, Leave me your contact information. We can also form an alliance on the battlefield. Okay. Hu Xian wanted to figure out how the Scorpion clan, whose lower body is a scorpion and the upper body is a human, could reproduce. I thought I would find an opportunity to ask when I have time. What are you doing? A majestic voice came. When everyone heard the sound, no matter what they were doing, they all stopped and looked up with dignity and seriousness. Timur didn't have time to return to her own team. So she stood next to Huaxian. Directly above, a middle-aged woman fell from the sky. Everyone was watching with curiosity. They didn't expect that the leader of this team would be a woman. Of course, no one dares to underestimate it. The middle-aged woman glanced at the whole audience with dignity. When he noticed that the team Huaxian and his colleagues were in was almost entirely composed of women, a look of excitement appeared in his eyes. As a woman, it is natural to hope that women are better than men. Or at least not worse than men. I immediately remembered Huaxian and his team. Meet the god of war. Everyone knelt down together. Although Huaxian was reluctant, he still knelt down with them. Everyone, get up. Who doesn't know the rules of the battlefield? No. Okay, I'll just explain it briefly. The rules of the battlefield are to hunt down alien races, extraterrestrial creatures, and alien creatures. Their heads can be exchanged for points. Based on different levels, the lowest point is 1, and the highest is unlimited. No matter when you arrive at the battlefield, as long as you rank in the top 10 in points, you will receive rich rewards. The top 3 will be recommended to the Alliance. In addition, points can be directly exchanged for various rare items. Do you understand everything? Clear? Very good. I will give you half a day today and half a night to take care of your personal matters. You will board the spaceship and head to the battlefield on time at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Disband? Everyone dispersed. Ji Jinqian walked towards Huaxian. Boy, aren't you dissatisfied with my status as the first genius of the human race? If you are a man, fight me if you have the guts. Huaxian didn't even look at him and walked towards the god of war who was looking at him. Ji Jinqian clenched his fists in anger. If the god of war hadn't been there, he would have exploded. Huaxian came in front of the god of war and said with a chuckle, Sister god of war, you are so beautiful. Wang Xingyu and the others were shocked when they heard this, thinking, could it be that their husbands wanted to seduce the god of war? Although the goddess of war looks like a middle-aged woman. In the genetic world, the stronger the strength, the longer the lifespan. Love and being together are no longer restricted by age. The god of war was not angry. You are so bold that you even offended Ji Jinqian. Let me tell you, he is already a 22nd level evolutionary gene warrior. You better be careful. Huaxian frowned when he heard this. He didn't expect that Ji Jinqian was so powerful. Even if he now had a system and was extremely terrifying in fighting across levels, he could not be compared with Ji Jinqian. God of war. At worst I will follow you from now on, but I don't believe he dares to do that to you. The god of war smiled bitterly and said, you go to the battlefield to gain military merits. How can you gain military merits by following me? Huaxian thought of something and suddenly asked. God of war, you don't have to be under 500 years old to go to the battlefield, right? You can lead the team, so you must be under 500 years old, right? The god of war laughed and said, you kid, you already have so many women around you. Are you still planning to take advantage of me? No, I'm just curious. I am indeed no more than 500 years old, said the god of war. Zhang Chengcheng suddenly asked. God of war, why are you so kind to our husband? The others also looked curious. I thought this was the first time you met, and you were so friendly. Could it be that you, the god of war, also like us men? I subconsciously looked at Huaxian, and wondered what was so attractive about my husband. Seeing that there was no one else around, the god of war took out a jade pendant and said, this is a jade pendant passed down from my ancestors, and its original owner came to Earth. As long as someone has Earth blood, this jade pendant will react. What I didn't expect was that I would meet so many Earthlings on this battlefield. So, god of war, you are half Earthling? Huaxian said in surprise. The god of war said, just call me Yao Hongjing. The blood of the Earthlings flows in my body. What do you mean by half Earthling? Huaxian chuckled and said, then we are also from the same hometown in the future. Hongjing, you must take good care of us. Chapter 216. Genetic Blood Pool. Come with me, Yao Hongjing said. Hearing the tone of voice, Huaxian knew that there was something good going to happen to him. So he was overjoyed and took everyone to follow. Even the scorpion beauties followed. She never imagined that Huaxian was actually an Earthling from Earth. I thought, no wonder he is so responsible. Back then, if it weren't for the strong people on Earth, who took on the responsibility for all of humanity, I'm afraid that all the alien races in the Human Alliance would have disappeared as well. The most important thing is that the people on Earth do not despise other races and advocate racial coexistence. Otherwise, humans in the past would have regarded them as aliens. After all creatures on a planet, no matter what race they are fellow countrymen. We are of the same root, so why are we so anxious to fight each other? This does not refer to a single sect leader. In front of alien races, extraterrestrial creatures and extraterrestrial creatures, Everything on the planet is in alliance and we are all our own people. Following Yao Hongjing, I came to her office, where there was a secret room. Yao Hongjing glanced at the others, hesitated for a moment, but did not stop them, and everyone entered the secret room together. Walk down the TIKN and enter the walkway after about 3 minutes. You will arrive in front of a blood-red pool. Everyone looked at the pool with great curiosity. Before Yao Hongjing could speak, the AU asked, "Evolution blood pool?" Yao Hongjing glanced at her and said, "You actually know about the evolution blood pool. It seems that you are not ordinary." Wu Xian asked curiously, "What is the evolution blood pool?" Yao Hongjing glanced at BAU. BEU continued, "It is formed by the blood of countless genetic evolutionists." Ah, isn't this against the harmony of nature? Hu Xian was extremely shocked. BEU said, "This blood should be from creatures from outside the domain. Alien races, or alien creatures, even if there is blood from our local creatures. They must be from extremely evil people. However, the evolution blood pool has always been controlled by the military. If you are not of noble status, you are not eligible to enjoy it." Hu Xian looked at the god of war, Sister Hongjing. "Do you want me to go down?" He was a little excited. After all, his current cultivation level could only be considered inferior among all the teens, let alone Shi Jintian. Yao Hongjing said, "We are all family. So I will open a back door for you, go ahead. Then I'll be welcome." After Hu Xian finished speaking, he rushed over and was about to jump, etc. Yao Hongjing shouted quickly. Then he said, "Take off all your clothes and pants only when you are naked, can you absorb it better?" After saying that, he turned to the others and said, "Since you are all his wives, go down, we only have more than 10 hours. So don't waste the opportunity." Everyone was extremely happy to hear this. She became even more desperate about Hu Xian, thinking that following her husband really had a lot of benefits. Hu Xian was the first to take off all his clothes and jump down. Ding, enter the genetic energy blood pool. You can automatically absorb a point of evolutionary genetic energy per second. Do you want to turn on the system to enhance the absorption of genetic energy points? Open. Ding, turn on the blessing to attract energy points for absorption. Consuming 10,000 reinforcement points per second, and can absorb 100 evolution gene points per second. Hu Xian was overjoyed. Ordinary strengthening points were no longer of much use. Evolutionary gene points are what he needs right now. He shouted to the others, "My wife is gone. Don't be polite. Come down quickly." The others were all Hu Xian's women. So they were not shy at all. They all took off their clothes and jumped down. Suddenly, more than 20 people filled the blood pool. Deng Zhongyi was in an awkward situation. He also wanted to go down. After all, it was a rare opportunity. However, the blood pool was full of Hu Xian's wives, and he didn't dare to turn around and take a look. Seeing this, Hu Xian said, "Deng Zhongyi, just cover your eyes and don't move." As a family member, Hu Xian is already very generous. Deng Zhongyi was extremely happy when he heard this. "Thank you, brother-in-law." In the end, only Zimer and Bau did not go down. It's not that they don't want to go down, but they are not human beings and the genetic energy in their bodies is different. So there is no point in going down. Yao Hongjing said, "You guys stay here and I'll go out." Hu Xian, however, was thinking about cheating on Vialia and the others. System, enable the cheating program for the heroines as well. Ding, for every additional person, 10,000 additional strengthening points per second. Do you want to bless all the heroines in the blood pool? Blessing. Bau did not come down with his 25 men. The consumption of 250,000 reinforcement points per second sounded like a lot, but he now had 12 trillion ordinary reinforcement points, so he did not feel sorry at all. "Oh my god, why do I feel like the genetic energy I absorb has suddenly increased?" Chen Yuan exclaimed. Others were also surprised. Hu Xian said calmly, "Seize the opportunity to practice and don't think too much." After hearing this, they immediately understood that it must be Hu Xian who was causing trouble. Among them, the genetic energy absorbed by Huan Xingyu and her friends was the most ferocious, because what they need is ordinary genetic energy. That's tens of billions of points per second, which shows how terrifying this blood pool is. So their attributes were improved crazily by him, and soon they broke through to the 11th level of evolutionary Jian realm. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have raised the Earth Heroine's genetic realm to level A and received 2 genetic evolution points as a reward. This scene stunned Zimer and Bau who were watching on the side. I thought, what's wrong with them? Although they had never used the blood pool, they knew its efficiency, which was not so exaggerated at all. I thought, could it be that the blood pool has a much higher impact on the humans on Earth? How could they know that it was Hu Xian who was cheating for them? And the system upgrades all have 4 attributes. Chen Yuan and the others' improvements are the same as Hu Xian's, which is 100 evolution gene points per second. Therefore, Their cultivation is also rising steadily. Looking at the promotion of Huaxian and his group of women, Biayu and Zimeir looked at each other and showed envious expressions. Deng Zhongyi, who was also in the blood pool, also gained huge benefits. But there was a world of difference compared to Huang Xingyu and the others. Time passed by minute. Biayu and Zimeir were both numb. I thought to myself that Huaxian and his wives were simply cheating. This was the first time I knew that genetic level could be improved in this way. The key is that their improvement is very stable, without any instability. The next day, God of War Yao Hongjing came to the secret room. Looking at the half-dried blood pool in front of him, he was stunned with shock. It took him a while to react. And he exclaimed, "Are you drinking the blood pool water?" Huaxian and the others were also awakened, and looking at the half-dried blood pool, they all felt embarrassed. Huaxian said awkwardly, "Sister Hongjing, I'm sorry, we didn't mean it." "What realm are you at now?" Yao Hongjing asked. Huaxian said, "Sister Hongjing, I am now at the 21st level of evolutionary genes." Chen Yuanian said ecstatically, "My evolutionary gene is level 19. Kai Yaoyun was also very happy. I am also at the 19th level of evolutionary gene. Yizu, Yan Lishuan, Wei Nan and the others were so excited that they couldn't describe it. We are all at level 22 of the evolutionary gene." Han Xingyu and the others looked at each other and were also extremely excited. "We are both at the 14th level of the genetic realm." Everyone was very happy because they all made huge improvements. Except for one person who couldn't be happy. Chapter 217. Devouring Genes? Deng Zhongyi said in a depressed tone. "Why did I only reach one major realm, while you all reached at least 4? In fact, Biayu and the others were also very curious." Huaxian smiled and said, "Because they are all my wives. When they have sex with me, they have my special genes in their bodies. So no matter what treasure they take or what soak they take, they can get the biggest improvement." "You actually have the devouring gene?" Hearing Huaxian's words, Zimeir was extremely shocked and thought that the special gene he was talking about was the devouring gene. Yao Hongjing's eyes lit up when she looked at Huaxian. Biayu said, "So, anyone who has sex with you can obtain the devouring gene? In this case, even if I enter this blood pool, I can also obtain the genetic power." As he said this, he took off his clothes in public. Huaxian rushed over and covered Deng Zhongyi's eyes, saying, "Don't look around." Finally she said speechlessly, "Brother-in-law, how about I dedicate my chrysanthemum to you? I also want to obtain the devouring gene." Roll. Biayu had taken off all his clothes and jumped into the pool of blood. Feeling it carefully. "System, activate the blessing for my wife Biayu." Ding, the blessing for the heroine Biayu has been successfully opened. Because Biayu's realm is too high, whether to open the super blessing, consuming 1 million strengthening points per second, can obtain 100 evolution gene points. Open. Biayu suddenly felt that the evolutionary genes were flowing into his body like water. Since she cultivated to the 25th level of evolutionary genes, her cultivation has been very slow, even though she has obtained many rare treasures and refined the essence of countless alien races and extraterritorial creatures on the battlefield. Her improvement is still very slow after all. Her realm is too high and the evolutionary genes she needs are too terrifying. But now, in the blood pool, she didn't expect that she would be able to practice so quickly. Yao Hongjing saw Biayu's improvement with her own eyes. And her eyes lit up. She instantly approached Huaxian, grabbed his shoulder and asked, "If I sleep with you, can I get the devouring gene?" Zimeir on the side was also listening attentively. Huaxian hurriedly said, "Of course not, the evolutionary gene is something I shared with my woman through the method of dual cultivation. It only works if I am willing." "And do you think I am worthy of you?" Yao Hongjing asked excitedly. Her cultivation has been stagnant for a long time. This time, she took the initiative to apply to lead the team to the battlefield in order to find an opportunity for a breakthrough. "I didn't expect to encounter him before I even went to the battlefield." Although she had to be someone else's woman, as long as it could improve her cultivation. What did it matter? The key point was that Huaxian was still an earthling, and a fellow villager, so she didn't mind being his woman. Huaxian was surprised and asked, "Sister Hongjing, are you serious?" "Of course, do you think I'm kidding?" As he spoke, he began to take off his clothes. He said to the others, "Please, all of you step out for a while. By the way, let my assistant inform everyone that the departure time for the battlefield will be postponed to noon." Wang Xingyu, Yizu and the others all walked out with bitter smiles. Although they were unwilling, she was the god of war and Huaxian also liked her. So there was nothing they could do. Soon, everyone walked out. The only ones left at the scene were Huaxian, Biayu, Yao Hongjing, and Zimeir. Yao Hongjing was already naked. She hugged Huaxian and jumped into the blood pool and said, "Hurry up, don't delay my practice." Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, Sister Hong Jing, are you too still calling me sister? Hong Jing, my dear wife, if that's the case, then I won't be polite. And the two of them performed the human creation Rama in the blood pool. About a quarter of an hour. Huaxian activated the super blessing for Yao Hongjing. Immediately, Yao Hongjing, like Biu, felt that their cultivation, which had been stagnant, began to improve rapidly. He was ecstatic. But also a little annoyed. He wondered why he didn't discover this guy's secret yesterday and wasted an entire night of practice. Huaxian did not stop, but enjoyed it happily. The same is true for Yao Hongjing. At this time, Scorpion Mayor's scorpion body changed and turned into long human legs, and because it was originally the lower body of a scorpion, he didn't wear pants. She also jumped into the pool of blood, hugged Huaxian from behind, and asked gently, Do you mind having me as your wife? Huaxian, who was in ecstasy with Yao Hongjing, finally reacted and looked back. He saw that Scorpion Mayor had completely transformed into a human being. Are you sure you want to be my wife? Huaxian asked under his breath. It's just because the three women in the blood pool are so beautiful that they are beyond description. I also want to obtain the devouring gene. What do you think? Huaxian said dissatisfied lie. If that's all, then forget it. The women around me are with me because they love me. Zimeyer said, if I don't like you, would I turn into a human form for you? Don't you know that in our clan, we only turn into human forms when we love someone? And we only recognize one man in our lifetime. I see. I misunderstood you, my wife. Wait a minute, I'll find you when I'm done here. Zimeyer could only wait in silence. It took a full hour and a half before Huaxian excitedly pounced on her. Naturally, Scorpion Mayor also received super blessings. Every second goes by so fast. 3 hours later, Biu, who was already at the peak of the 25th level of Evolutionary Gene, completed a breakthrough and successfully entered the 6th level of Evolutionary Gene Warrior. His overall combat power increased by several levels, and he was extremely excited. 2 hours later, Scorpion Mayor, who was at level 12, completed a breakthrough and became a level 23 genetic warrior. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a powerful aura burst out from Yao Hongjing's body. Finally, she completed the breakthrough from the 24th level of Evolutionary Genes, successfully breaking through to the 25th level. Huaxian looked at the blood pool that was almost completely dried up and said, Wife, I feel like this blood pool is useless. Will something go wrong? Yao Hongjing said, Of course something will happen. But I am the god of war now, and this is my territory. When we go to the battlefield this time, we just need to collect more genetic blood from alien races, extraterritorial creatures, and alien creatures. We can also continue to absorb it to improve our cultivation. After hearing what Yao Hongjing said, Biu and Zimeyer's eyes lit up. They were both fascinated by this shortcut to improvement and decided to collect more genetic blood from the enemies on the battlefield. Okay, then let's do something big, Huaxian said excitedly. Ding, triggering a team mission, collecting genetic blood. The base is 1,000 tons. If the base is not reached, the host's genetic realm will be punished by decreasing by 3 levels. All members of the team who complete the mission will be rewarded with an increase in genetic realm by 1 level. The more you collect, the more special rewards you will receive. Huaxian was speechless about this task. 1,000 tons of genetic blood. How many lives would be killed? I'm afraid it will take a river of blood to collect them all. Wife, when we get to the battlefield, you guys should work hard to collect genetic blood. If you collect more than 1,000 tons of genetic blood, I have a way to directly raise your realm to a higher level. Chapter 218, Vulnerable. Really? The 3 of them were surprised and looked at Huaxian with some disbelief. I am your husband, how can I lie to you? I would never lie to you even if I lie to anyone else. Just like I said, you have also experienced the engulfing gene. If it weren't for me, would you be able to reach a higher level so quickly? Hearing this, the 3 of them believed Huaxian. Okay. Husband, don't worry, genetic blood is still easy to collect. Many alien races, extraterritorial creatures, and alien creatures are huge in size. So there is still a lot of genetic blood. Huaxian breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this. If they were all like humans, I wonder how much killing would be needed to collect 1,000 tons. Let's go, we've wasted so much time. It's time to set off. Yao Hongjing said. The look in his eyes when he looked at Huaxian was particularly gentle. Scorpion Mayor continued to transform back into the lower body of a scorpion. They walked out of the secret room, and the others were waiting at the door. When they saw Huaxian and the others coming out, they all surrounded them happily. The breakthrough in realm made them more confident. Especially Huang Xingyu and the others. Although the 14th level of the genetic realm is still very weak, it is much stronger than the previous 10th level. Moreover, their level is not the lowest in the huge team. Let's go to the square. Yao Hongjing regained her dignified look and took the lead towards the square. In the square, everyone had been waiting for a long time. Many people were very dissatisfied and were talking about it. Damn it, what the hell is going on? We agreed to leave in the morning. But it's already afternoon, why hasn't the God of War come yet? Have you noticed that all the people from the Southeast Military Region are not here? Are they doing anything with the God of War? What can be done? What can a group of women and one woman do? Hush. The God of War is coming. Everyone saw that this time the God of War came walking over. What surprised everyone was that Hu Xin and his team, as well as the entire Southeast Military Region team, actually followed behind the God of War. I couldn't figure out what they did with the God of War to delay everyone for half a day. When Shi Jintian saw Hu Xin, he looked at him with murderous eyes. The murderous intent was not concealed at all. When Hu Xin and his team returned to the team, they happened to pass by Shi Jintian and his team. As Hu Xin got closer, Shi Jintian couldn't help himself anymore. Just because Hu Xin gave him a deliberately provocative look, then put his arm around Bau's waist and made some excessive movements, Shi Jintian, narcissistic ally, considered Bau to be his woman. When he saw this scene, it was as if he saw his wife being humiliated by Hu Xin. He clenched his fists and was filled with murderous intent. Seeing that they were getting closer and closer, the situation became tense. The God of War Yao Hongjing seemed not to have seen this scene and had no intention of saying anything to stop it. Everyone watched nervously, wondering if a conflict would break out at this moment. Hu Xin had already arrived opposite Shi Jintian, less than 2 meters away. Shi Jintian held back and didn't move. Everyone thought there would be no good show. At this time, Hu Xin stopped. He said contemptuously, "Shi Jintian, right? To tell you the truth, they are all my wives. Aren't they more beautiful than the other? Remember what I said yesterday. Don't look down on any woman. Women are not tools for men to vent. You have to treat them sincerely. Only with sincerity can you move them. Only with their approval can you love each other. Only then can you have many wives like me and live in harmony. Look at yourself. You've lived for hundreds of years. And you've had so many wives around you. Don't you think you're a failure? By the way, a scumbag like you, don't set your sights on my wife. To be honest, none of my wives like you." The word scum was simply the fuse. And Shi Jintian finally couldn't help but explode. "Boy, it's fine if you show off in front of me, but you also dare to humiliate and belittle me. Go to hell." In the province of Gilyuti, no one has ever heard of anyone with a higher realm or stronger combat power than him. So Shi Jintian is full of confidence. Facing his attack, Hu Xin said with a smile, "I have to say, you are so impatient. It's hard for you to achieve anything great." Before, he would not be so confident after experiencing the baptism of the blood pool. Hu Xin was full of confidence. Even though he is still one level lower than Shi Jintian, he has 4 attributes. The other genetically evolved ones have only reached a certain level of strength, so their overall combat power is limited. Seeing the battle between the first genius of the GRUT province and others break out, nearly 30,000 people were watching excitedly. Getting closer, Shi Jintian punched Hu Xin's mouth fiercely, trying to break his rude mouth. Faced with this scene, Hu Xin threw a punch casually. However, he pushed the power of the 21st level evolutionary gene realm to its limit. 2 fists collided. Boom! There was a loud bang, and a figure rushed out. Everyone was stunned with shock when they saw the figure. It's just because that is Shi Jintian, the #1 genius in the province of GRUT. And that is a genuine level 22 evolutionary gene realm. Such a powerful being was knocked away with 1 punch by the guy they looked down upon. The key point is that the guy is still standing there without moving at all. It was as if he had repelled Shi Jintian's casual punch. After a while someone reacted. "Wow, so handsome. And a good person. I want to marry him. I want to marry him. Too. I want to be one of his many wives. I have never understood why there are so many beautiful women following him. Now I understand he is very powerful and low-key. The key is that he does not favor boys over girls. I like her too." The women at the scene were all excited and thought Hu Xin was a perfect man. Shi Jintian, who was lying on the ground, turned over angrily. His right arm had lost its power and fell vertically, becoming temporarily disabled. With murderous intent bursting out, he took out a weapon with his left hand and rushed towards Hu Xin with murderous intent. The terrifying momentum shocked countless people. Oh my god! This aura is probably no less than the 23rd level of evolutionary gene realm. Right? Nonsense, Shi Jintian is at least on the surface. He is the #1 talent in our GRUT province, he must be capable. However, this unknown guy seems to be even more powerful. The other party had used weapons, so Hu Xin did not dare to be careless. After all, the blade had no eyes, and something could happen if he was not careful. Izu and the others are about to take action. Huaxian reached out to stop him. And he took out the weapon forged for him by Master Ding Jiatyan. This weapon has no exact level, but it is Master Tian's masterpiece. Huaxian, who has mastered basic all-round combat skills, remained calm in the face of Shi Jintian's crazy attack. He took a step forward and slashed out with his sword. There was a loud bang. The genetic power spread out, forming a whirlwind that swept in all directions. Go to hell! Shi Jintian roared and was about to launch his strongest attack. Click! The next moment, the knife in his hand broke into two pieces. The sword in Huaxian's hand fell on his neck. Chapter 219. Acquisition of Genetic Blood. A whole audience was shocked. Shi Jintian was defeated again in seconds. They all looked at Huaxian in disbelief, wanting to know what realm he was at. This guy, is he at the 23rd level of evolutionary gene realm? Otherwise, how could he crush Shi Jintian who is at 22nd? It's possible it's too easy to defeat Shi Jintian. What a bullshit number one genius, any random person can defeat him in seconds. What a rubbish, a person of another race cursed with disdain. Shi Jintian's face looked extremely ugly. Huaxian put away his sword and said, "Do you know how weak you are now? Sometimes, when others ignore you, it's not because they are afraid of you, but because they think you are too weak and unworthy of him to make a move." After saying that, he led everyone away. Everyone's eyes were still on Huaxian, trying to see through him and know his background. At this time, Yao Hongjing said majestically, "I had something important to do this morning, so I was delayed. Let's get ready to leave." "Wait," Huaxian shouted. Yao Hongjing glared at him and asked, "What's the matter?" Huaxian swaggered up to the platform, and everyone's eyes followed him. Huaxian looked at the audience with a smile and said, "Everyone, is gold coin the most popular currency in our continent?" After hearing this, everyone became even more curious. What did this guy want to express? A Sea Tribe member said, "Yes, in our Sea Tribe, gold coins are also circulated. But what do you want to express?" Huaxian smiled and said, "It's like this, I heard that the military will also buy genetic blood." "That's right, I also need some genetic blood. I am willing to buy genetic blood at a price 5 times higher than the market price." Everyone was shocked to hear this. "Are you sure you are not kidding?" asked a demon in disbelief. "I, Huaxian, always keep my word. I am not kidding. When the time comes, we will all meet each other. If someone wants to sell me genetic bloodline and I refuse to accept it, wouldn't that be a slap in my face? What's more, everyone has heard it now, and the god of war is a witness." Yao Hongjing knew Huaxian's purpose and nodded. "Yes, I will testify for him." Hearing this, everyone became excited. To be honest, on the battlefield, genetic blood is also a major source of income. After all, they need genetic blood to purchase weapons and equipment. Even if you are powerful and can exchange points for weapons, equipment and materials on the battlefield, you are not just one person. The family and the forces behind you also need gold coins. Who wouldn't want to earn 5 times the money? "Do you have so many gold coins?" asked a leopard man. Huaxian said confidently, "I have as many gold coins as you have genetic blood." A leopard said, "Unfortunately, when I went to the battlefield last time, I retained 100 kilograms of genetic blood. It's still there now. You can buy it." After saying that, he took out a nano-space device. Huaxian walked over to take the space device and took a look at it. How heavy is the system? Ding, 101 kilograms of genetic blood. Huaxian was extremely surprised. He did not expect the genetic blood to be so heavy. This genetic blood, which was about the size of a basketball, actually weighed more than 100 kilograms. The leopard man asked, "How is it? Is it a good portion?" Huaxian nodded and said, "Yes, 101 kilograms. What is the current market price?" 1 pound is 100 million gold coins, 100 pounds is 10 billion. You give me 5 times the price, that's 50 billion gold coins. Transfer money, Huaxian said as he turned on the communication device. The leopard man also opened the payment code. Huaxian immediately transferred 50 billion. Ding, personal income of 50 billion gold coins has arrived. When the prompt sounded, the whole audience was stunned. "I bought it for $500. Human, I also have genetic blood." "I have too." Immediately countless people became excited. Huaxian said, "Everyone wait, we still have to hurry." "DSK, I knew he was a liar, so I won't accept it." "That's right. Humans are all liars." Countless people started cursing before Huaxian even finished speaking. Huaxian said, "Speechless lie. Everyone, listen to me. What I mean is that we should land on the spacecraft first. And while we are on our way, it will not affect the transaction. As for the purchase, I'll buy whatever you have, even if it's 5 times the price. I won't even blink an eye." After hearing this, everyone quieted down. Everyone line up, walk to the right, and board the spacecraft. After Yao Hongjing gave the order, it was abolished. The others could only line up and walk obediently. And Hu Xian was not surprised. Soon, nearly 30,000 people landed on a very large spaceship. It is very big, including the crew on the spacecraft. There are more than 30,000 people, and it is not crowded at all. Hu Xian couldn't help but say, "This spaceship is really a ship. The ones on Earth sail in the water, but this one flies in the sky." Wang Xingyu said, "That's right, and this spaceship is so huge. I think it can accommodate 100,000 people." Zhang Chengcheng said at this time, "This is just a small spaceship. The large one can accommodate 1 million people at the same time. And there are also super large ones on it." Hearing this, Valius and the others were stunned. A spaceship that can hold 1 million people at once? How huge would that be? It's unimaginable. Even more shocking is that there is something even bigger. At this time, many people came towards Hu Xian. "Wise? Oh, get familiar with the ship. I'll trade with them." "Human, let's start our deal," said a Spider-Man. "Okay. No problem." Hu Xian trades generously with everyone. The transaction was also very fast. Hu Xian had a system, so there was no need to weigh the goods. She would know the weight as soon as he received them. And you can just scan the code to pay, which is very convenient. In less than an hour, 1,000 transactions were completed, and a total of 3 tons of genetic blood, or 6,000 kilograms, was obtained, at a cost of only 3 trillion. There are still 3 hours left before the consumption task is completed. But these 3 trillion are really a drop in the bucket compared to the 270 trillion. In order to spend money, Hu Xian suddenly shouted loudly, come on, if you have any rare treasures, you can sell them to me. As long as I like them, I will pay 5 times the market price." "Human, look at this." A sea creature took out something like a black pearl and handed it to Hu Xian. Hu Xian took it. Ding, the Mermaid King's tears can be exchanged for 1 million special gene enhancement points. Hu Xian was overjoyed. "Brother, how much do you sell this for?" A sea creature said, "At least 1 trillion gold coins. Sell it 5 times 1 trillion is 5 trillion. Transfer it, brother." "What the hell?" the guy blurted out excitedly. "What's wrong, brother? Do you think it's not enough?" Hu Xian asked, puzzled. Lie. The sea creature said, "Brother, I'm not complaining about the small amount. Last time I sold it to you humans, you only offered me 10 million. I was so ruthless that I offered you 1 trillion. But you still gave me 5 trillion. I was so shocked." Chapter 220. He actually defeated the god of war. When Hu Xian heard the other party say this, he knew that he was an honest sea creature and he also liked dealing with such people. "Brother, I'm absolutely fair here. If I say 5 times, then it's 5 times. I thought to myself, if I wasn't in a hurry to spend the money, I wouldn't be so generous." "Thank you, human. You are the most sincere, generous and kind human I have ever met. I, Hainaz, am glad to have made a friend out of you. I, Hu Xian, have made friends with you. If you have any good stuff, feel free to sell it. I guarantee that it will be 5 times the market price. Or even more." "Okay, sure." People of other races were also extremely excited to see Hu Xian being so generous. "Brother, what do you think of mine?" Sure, how many gold coins do you want?" "Brother, I'm an honest man, just give me 10 trillion. "Okay, brother, 5 times the price, 50 trillion. "Brother, you are so generous. I, Maurice, have made a friend out of you. We are all brothers. If you have something good, you must sell it to me. Don't worry. Brother, look at me. Brother, look at this. It's definitely a good thing." The scene went into an uproar. An hour passed. Hu Xian has acquired countless good things, and can exchange them for more than 200 million evolution gene points in total. It is really an unexpected gain. The transaction is still ongoing. Ding, congratulations to the host. Within 24 hours, you have completed the consumption of 270 trillion gold coins and obtained 10 Zarailitzel strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Within 24 hours, complete the consumption of 280 trillion gold coins. Failure of the mission will result in permanent paralysis of the limbs. Completing the mission will earn you 10,000 advanced strengthening pills as a reward. The trading continued. Hu Xian was happy, and so were the others. The things in their hands may be treasures, but they cannot use them themselves. However, gold coins are circulating currency, so even if they are exchanged for gold coins, they are still 5 times the market price. In fact, the price Hu Xian gave them was already dozens or hundreds of times higher. So who wouldn't be happy? They also like rich people like Hu Xian very much. Another 3 hours passed before Hu Xian completed the transaction. The total number of traded goods was close to 10,000. System, exchange all the trade items you encounter for evolutionary gene points. Ding, congratulations to the host, 9,000. but 176 items have been exchanged. And 836 million evolution gene points have been obtained. Looking at the more than 800 million evolutionary gene points, Huaxian was extremely happy, and he could even make further progress. But he was in no hurry because he wanted to promote others. There's no way, I have too many wives and it's too hard to support the family. Ubbi, you finally completed the deal. A group of women gathered around. Others were extremely envious when they saw this scene. At this time, Shi Jintian came over. Huang Xingyu and the others all frowned at this. I don't have any good feelings towards this guy who always causes trouble for Huaxian. Huaxian spoke first. Why, haven't you been taught a lesson enough? I'm sorry, Shi Jintian said suddenly. Huaxian was stunned. Everyone else was stunned. Shi Jintian continued, you're right. I am indeed a little inflated. Why apologize to me? But it's not a bad thing that you can wake up. After saying that, he hugged Bau and the others and walked away. Has the accommodation been arranged? Huaxian asked. It's all arranged, we all live in one big room. That's great, Huaxian said with a smile. Honey, Bao is talking about all of us, not you, Judy said with a smile. TSK, I don't care, let's go and eat. I have no appetite. My husband's cooking is still the best. TSK, don't even think about it. There are so many people here, so many girls think about it. If I cook and they want to eat, you can't refuse them. After eating, they know that my cooking is delicious. So they pester me, what should I do? After hearing this, everyone felt that this made sense. Well, you're lucky. You don't have to cook on the spaceship, let us eat. At this time, one of Yao Hongjing's assistants came over and said, Mr. Hu, the god of war is looking for you. Wife, you guys go eat first. I'll go to Hongjing's place. After saying that, he left with the assistant. I think Yao Hongjing is just using her privilege to monopolize her husband. Chen Yuanian said. I think so. The others nodded in agreement. Huaxian came to Yao Hongjing's private office. Yao Hongjing was delighted to see Huaxian coming, and said to the assistant, you can go out. The assistant left. Yao Hongjing closed the door herself, and then threw herself into Huaxian's arms. Ubbi, satisfy me. Although she has lived for hundreds of years, she has been busy with cultivation and various things. She only became a woman for the first time yesterday. After experiencing that sweetness, she was reluctant to leave. Huaxian was also happy. Okay? Then they went into the inner room, and the two of them burned together like dry firewood in raging fire. It took 2 full hours to end. Yao Hongjing lay on Huaxian's chest, without any dignity of a god of war left. Ubbi, you're awesome. That's right, it's not great how come the barbarians have more than 20 wives. Huaxian was full of confidence. Honey, let's take a shower and then go eat. Shall we go eat together? Yes. But you are the god of war. You won't be misunderstood, right? What misunderstanding or no misunderstanding? Does the god of war have any rules against dating? I just want to officially announce that I, Yao Hongjing, am in a relationship. After saying that, he actually took the initiative and picked up Huaxian and walked into the bathroom. After washing up and changing clothes, Yao Hongjing took Huaxian's arm and walked out of the office. She has already agreed that she wants to be with Huaxian openly and honestly. It is not illegal to be in a relationship. When they saw the god of war holding Huaxian's arm, they were all stunned with shock. What is going on? After they reacted, they were all extremely shocked and admired Huaxian immensely for even defeating the god of war. At the same time, I also remembered today's delay. Could it be that the two of them, everyone I met along the way was stunned? When they arrived at Canteen No. 1 and saw this scene, many people stood there in a daze, forgetting to eat. Nisn, tea that the god of war? Someone muttered in disbelief. Yes, it's the god of war. It seems he was also fooled by this guy's sweet words. Nonsense, I'm not just talking nonsense, I'm being honest. That's the only way to move people. If I hadn't married a loser like you, I would have chased him. Oh my god, that guy is so terrifying. He even took down the god of war. Countless people roared. All of them were extremely shocked. I suddenly have a bad feeling. Is this guy going to capture all the beauties heading to the battlefield this time? Nonsense, how is this possible? I've counted, there are at least 3. 0 beauties this time, even if he has the strength to take them down. Would he dare? Can his body withstand it? Don't put yourself down. We still have a chance. Chapter 221. Do you believe that there is a god in the world? It exploded. The whole spaceship exploded. The god of war is actually in love. And his object is the Sea King who has more than 20 wives. After the news spread, many people did not believe it and gathered in Canteen No. 1. Only when they saw Huaxian and the god of war eating intimately did they believe it was true. On the deck, Huang Xingyu and her friends, who had already had dinner and were watching the night view, also came to Canteen No. 1. I was also very shocked to see that Hu Xian and Yao Hongjing were actually having dinner together. I thought to myself, you are the god of war, don't you want your dignity anymore? She actually dined with her husband in public. At the same time, orals from other ethnic groups were also looking at Hu Xian with great curiosity. They all wanted to know what was so special about him that they didn't know about. That he could actually defeat the almighty god of war. After a meal, the god of war did not return to the office, but followed Chen Yuanian and the others and stayed with Hu Xian. Zhang Chengcheng couldn't help but ask curiously, Sister God of War, how did you manage to let go of your dignity? Yao Hongjing said, Sister Chengcheng, I am also woman, I also need love, dignity and such, that is for enemies, in front of my own people. I just want to be with my husband. Hubby, you're awesome. Hu Xian looked at the sky in the distance and said, it's just so. It was late at night before everyone fell asleep. Hu Xian was taken to Yao Hongjing's residence as the god of war. She lived in a separate residence, which was convenient for both of them. Yao Hongjing, who was a new wife, had great needs, and the two of them were busy until midnight. The next day, after dinner, Hu Xian started thinking about how to spend the money. He came to the deck and shouted, come on, everyone. Do you want to buy anything? I'll take anything, and the starting price is still 500? Wang Xingyu and the others were speechless when they saw this. What's wrong with your husband? Why does he like shopping so much? Who knows, maybe it's just too much money, Valia replied. The next moment I felt something was wrong. He exclaimed. Here, let's analyze it. Suddenly Judy and the others gathered around. Analysis of what? Look, when my husband was on Earth, he had endless money to spend, and now he has endless gold coins to spend in the gene world. What's going on? Yes, my husband is from Earth on Earth. We can guess that there is a big force behind him, but this is the genetic world. We are all new here. Where did my husband's gold coins come from? It's so magical it feels like my husband has endless gold coins to spend. But it be that my husband has been lying to us all along? He is not from our Earth at all, or even from the genetic world, but from a higher world. He just came out to gain experience. So his money and gold coins were all sent to him by his real family. I think that's a possibility. Hu Xian is still trading like crazy. Those who did not trade yesterday regretted it the whole night and hurried to trade today. After all, if you carry things you don't need, they will just take up space. It took 5 full hours and only more than 140 trillion was spent. But half still left. Hu Xian shook his head and sighed, feeling that spending gold coins was really too difficult. Hubby, what are you sighing about? Valia and the others gathered around. As a big family, they go together wherever they go and become the most dazzling wherever they go. Heng Zhaoyu went to the checkpoint alone, and no one knew where he went. I'm worried about how to spend the gold coins. Everyone frowned when they heard this. Deng Yao asked, Hubby, why do you have to spend gold coins? Everyone was looking at Hu Xian, waiting for his answer. Hu Xian asked, do you believe there are gods in this world? When everyone heard this, they frowned even more, thinking, what does this have to do with your gold coins? They all answered, I believe in God. What if I tell you that there is a super powerful God behind me who sets the rules and forces me to spend money? Would you believe it? Everyone was shocked. After a while, Stephen said, Hubby, so you have been spending money like crazy and have endless money. Even if you come to the genetic world, you still have endless gold coins to spend? That's right, one of the gods in my family once said that if I, as his descendant, don't even know how to spend money and can't spend money well, and I will definitely not be able to do other things well. So he made me spend money all the time. You also know that God is omnipotent. So he will give me money in a 1-to-1 ratio for me to spend. If I spend well, I will be rewarded, and if I spend badly, I will be punished. So I have a headache about spending money. Peng Yao was shocked and said, Hubby, the last time you were at our house, a god helped you. Was it that god? Hu Xian shook his head and said, no, that god is only the lowest level. You can think of the god behind me as the leader of all gods. Everyone was stunned with shock. So, husband, you were also the one spending the gold coins on the day you transferred the money to us? Valia said. Yes, it's spending gold coins. And can you just continue to transfer the money to me? Judy said. Hu Xian shook his head and said, no, I don't believe it after using it once. It's impossible to use the same shortcut multiple times. Hubby, are you going to keep spending gold coins? It's like this for now, but I won't know in the future. Husband, you want to marry me, but you haven't given the bride price yet. Is it okay for you to give me some of the bride price? Yao Hongjing suddenly said. Hu Xian's eyes lit up. No problem, wife, is 13.89 trillion enough? That's enough. Husband, please transfer the money to me. Hu Xian immediately scanned the code to transfer the money. Ding, congratulations to the host, within 24 hours. You have completed the consumption of 280 trillion gold coins and received a reward of 10,000 advanced strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Complete it within 24 hours and spend 190 trillion gold coins. If you fail the mission, your limbs will be permanently paralyzed. If you complete the mission, you will receive 10,000 advanced strengthening pills as a reward. How's the mission, husband? Have you completed the mission? Yao Hongjing asked. Everyone looked at him curiously. Completed. The second task is within 24 hours and the cost is 290 trillion gold coins. Then husband, give me the betrothal gift next time. Chen Yuanian said. Okay, none of your gifts can be less. Huaxian was in a good mood after solving the consumption problem. By the way, Hongjing, how long will it take us to reach the battlefield? Our Gilyuti province is an inland city, far away from the battlefield. Even if we use our military spacecraft, it will take 7 days to arrive. Only a day and a half has passed. That's still 5.5 days. Yao Hongjing said. Not only that, in 2 days, we will have to resupply in Huayade. Zhang Chengcheng was shocked and asked, why? Are we going to Harvita for supplies? That place is not peaceful. Yao Hongjing said bitterly. There were too many ships requesting support on the battlefield this time. So we were randomly assigned to Harvey Tower for supplies. Chapter 222, No Supplies. 2 days later, we entered the control area of Yaviade. Yaviade is a city located in a chaotic area surrounding a no man's land. So it is very chaotic here. In the past 2 days, Huaxian transferred betrothal gifts to Chen Yuanian and Deng Yao, completed to consumption asks, and obtained 20,000 advanced reinforcement points. The military had already communicated. So Huaxian and his cruise spacecraft flew smoothly into the Huayat military-controlled area. The spacecraft landed. Yaviade's general has arrived with a group of senior officials to greet him. Although he is a general, he is still a level lower than the nose god of war. Yao Hongjing regained her dignified look and lead everyone out. Meet God of War Yao. Strength is respected. Anyone with great strength can gain the respect of others. Of course, subconsciously, there are still many men who look down on women and think that women are inferior to men. There's no need for that. Are the supplies we need ready? Yao Hongjing asked directly. The general looked embarrassed. What, aren't you ready? Yao Hongjing asked angrily. They were still in a hurry to travel. These people didn't prepare the supplies in advance. And anyone would be very angry. Lord God Yao, I'm sorry. Our military is short of funds, not to mention preparing supplies for you. Even the soldiers haven't received their salaries for 3 months. What's going on? Yao Hongjing was furious. What the army fears most is insufficient military funds. And what soldiers fear most is not receiving their salaries. The general shook his head and said, we don't know what happened either. Please ask God of War Yao to help investigate. Okay. I will definitely investigate this matter. Don't you have any supplies prepared at all? Yao Hongjing asked angrily. No, we have prepared all the supplies we can. We would never dare to delay you, Yao Zhanshan, from leading troops to support the battlefield. Please follow me. After the general finished speaking, he quickly led the way. Yao Hongjing followed behind with a gloomy face. Soon, they arrived at a desolate military warehouse. Lord God Yao, we have prepared a lot of wild beast meat and wild vegetables. This is our limit. I think it should be enough for you to spend on the battlefield. Please forgive me. Yao Hongjing looked at the mountains of beast meat and her expression became even uglier. It was not disgust that made her feel, but hatred who swallowed up Yaviade's military funds. Huaxian came out and said, God of War, I'll pay, send someone to buy the necessary supplies first. Yao Hongjing knew that Huaxian needed to spend money. So she nodded and said to the assistant, Huaxian, give 10 trillion gold coins to buy the best supplies. Huaxian said, how can 10 trillion be enough? We need to spend money all the way to the battlefield. And we also need to spend money when we get to the battlefield. So 10 trillion is enough to equip everything with the best equipment. Transfer. The assistant was shocked and took out the payment code to collect the payment. Ding, 100 billion gold coins have arrived in my personal account. When they heard the prompt, Huaxian and his companions were shocked. This amount of money was equivalent to consumption for everyone. Mr. Hu, good job, they all shouted. The soldiers of Yaviade were so envious that they were even jealous. Huaxian looked at them and said, we are all family. We need to pay our brothers their salaries, feed them well, and replace their weapons and equipment as needed. Well, General, I will transfer 210 trillion gold coins to you. Reward your brothers and protect Harvey Tower. The general was stunned. Don't worry, this is my personal gold coin. No one can control you. If anyone dares to control you, let him come to the God of War. Give me the account number. And general was extremely shocked and quickly gave Huaxian his account number. The other soldiers were also extremely excited. Ding! 210 Realian gold coins have arrived in my personal account. Ding! Congratulations to the host, within 24 hours. You have completed the consumption of 310 Realian gold coins and received 10 Zhao level strengthening pills as a reward. Ding! New mission: complete the consumption of 320 trillion gold coins within 24 hours. If the mission fails, the limbs will be permanently paralyzed. And the reward for completing the mission is 10,000 high-level strengthening pills. Boom boom boom. Led by the general, all the soldiers knelt down towards Hu Xin. Kneel down and thank you. This warrior is sponsoring our military. We kneel down to thank General for supporting our military. The soldiers shouted in unison with great momentum. What are you doing? Everyone, stand up. I am also a soldier. Defending my country, we can endure any injustice, but we will never admit defeat. Never give up. Never give up. Why don't we go out for a walk? Hu Xin suggested. Okay, Qin Yuanian and the others agreed happily. These days on the spaceship have become boring. I'll change into my military uniform and go out too, said Yao Jinhong. After all, her God of War uniform is too dazzling. After waiting for a few minutes, Yao Jinhong changed into an ordinary military uniform and came over and shouted, "Husband, let's go." Husband? The general and his soldiers were stunned with shock. It's unbelievable that the guy who generously gave them 210 trillion gold coins is actually the husband of the God of War. I thought that his identity must be very unusual. No wonder he didn't feel bad about transferring 110 trillion gold coins. No wonder he was able to defeat the God of War. Arrived in the city of Havade. Although it is also an intelligent city, people here are almost always fully armed when they go out. Robbery, robbery, robbery. A woman's loud scream was heard from the front. And Hu Xin and the others looked over curiously. In the meantime, a young man suddenly snatched away a woman's nano-space device. There were many people along the way, but no one helped. Even more people were watching the show with glee. Bang! Valya kicked the guy away. Seeing the soldiers intervening, the spectators did not feel scared. Instead, the smiles on their faces became even brighter. Dod. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this moment, physical weapons, laser weapons and other long-range weapons from both sides opened fire crazily at Hu Xin and his men. The woman who screamed robbery was so scared that she ran away and disappeared without a trace. Kill them all. Yao Hongjing gave the order coldly. In an instant, everyone disappeared. This shocked everyone watching. So strong, they are not ordinary soldiers, someone exclaimed. I remember that a spaceship bound for the battlefield landed in our Harbiade for supplies today. They are all so young, they must be soldiers bound for the battlefield. I heard that they are all geniuses now. These people have hit a wall. It's what they deserve. They are so rampant that they dare to attack anyone. I will kill them all this time. Yao Hongjing didn't expect that the security in Yaviade was so bad that someone would dare to directly attack soldiers. He immediately turned on the communication equipment, contacted all the commanders of the military region, and ordered, everyone, enter the city of Huayade, clear out all the lawless elements and terrorists, and kill them without mercy. All consequences will be borne by this God of War. Chapter 223, No Man's Land. Following Yao Hongjing's order, Yaviade was immediately in an uproar. Nearly 30,000 soldiers, all of whom were extremely powerful geniuses, rushed into the city and killed all the criminals. Don't kill us, we are all good people, we don't have to. Before he could finish his words, his head fell to the ground. Don't kill me, I know I was wrong, I won't dare to do it again. He died on the spot before he could finish saying the same thing. Such scenes are played out in every corner of the city of Yaviade. It shocked the military, law enforcement and all senior executives of Yaviade. East Street West District, complete the mission of clearing out the criminals. South Street Old Town, complete the mission of clearing out the criminals. Such reminder sounds kept ringing in Yao Hongjing's communication. And it was only less than an hour. All teams that have completed their missions, return to the spacecraft and assemble, Yao Hongjing ordered. Another hour passed. Everyone returned to the spaceship. The task of clearing the area was handed over to the military and law enforcement departments. This incident also alarmed the higher-ups. Obviously, some forces dare to do all kinds of evil in the city. And there are people behind them. However, Yao Hongjing reported it after giving the order. She is a god of war herself, plus the system behind her. After the people behind the evildoers knew that it was her who did it, they dared not say a word. The supplies are also complete. Yao Hongjing glanced at all the people gathered on the deck and said, "Please count everyone or all the people present. The Western Military District has arrived. Team 9 is here. The Central and Southern Military Regions are all here." After counting the personnel, Yao Hongjing said, There was a small accident. The no man's land has seriously affected the survival of the people of Hawaii. So I decided to send a spacecraft to the no man's land first. Those who are willing to go keep silent, and those who are unwilling to go stand up. Everyone remains silent. Very good, then start the spacecraft and head to a no man's land. The spaceship slowly took off. The general and his soldiers saw him off. When the general saw that the direction the spaceship was heading was not to the battlefield but to a lawless area, he was extremely shocked. He said with admiration, "See, Yao Zanshen is really angry. But general, this is a no man's land with all kinds of people. They have a small spaceship with less than 30,000 people. Even if they are all geniuses, I'm afraid they are not experts. What do you know? If they dare to go, they must be confident. The no man's land is too rampant. The hands of our Yabayeta are getting deeper and deeper. It's time to teach them a lesson." On the spaceship, Yao Hongjing said, "We will arrive at the chaotic area in 3 hours. Everyone, be prepared for battle." At this time Hu Xin went to find a computer. Yao Hongjing frowned and asked, "Husband, what are you going to do?" When the soldiers heard the god of war calling Hu Xin husband, they all found it very strange, and their admiration for Hu Xin was even greater than that of a city tower. Chen Yuanian said, "Sister Hongjing, you may not know this yet, but your husband is a very good hacker." "My husband is a hacker." Yao Hongjing was very shocked. In her opinion, everyone was a genius and they were probably focusing on improving their genetic realm. Other professions were probably very poor. "I didn't expect Hu Xin to be a hacker. System, upgrade my hacker level to level 16. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have enhanced your hacking skills to level 16. Which consumes 1 trillion points of enhancement to enhance to level 17. You need 10 trillion points of enhancement. Do you want to enhance? Now, with the hacking skills acquired at the age of 16, Hu Xin's understanding of hacking has risen to a higher level. Hold the computer with one hand and operate it with the other hand to lock the nearby network. It was discovered that the network in one area was extremely chaotic, with signals coming from tens of thousands of network base stations. Apparently almost all the better forces had their own network base stations. You don't need to ask to know that it is a chaotic, lawless area. Yao Hongjing and the others surrounded Hu Xin and watched. "How is your husband?" Huan Xingyu asked curiously. "We have already penetrated into their network. There are 13,631 base stations, all of which we have taken control of. There are also 97 microstations. It can be seen that these are the top capabilities that allow them to have satellite positioning." Hu Xin continued, "There are 1.36 million missile silos, 3.91 million intelligent laser weapons, and various other intelligent weapons, aircraft, spacecraft, etc., all of which have been invaded by the virus. Honey, I'll depend on your instructions in a while." Hearing this, Yao Hongjing was very shocked and said, "Honey, according to what you said, our spaceship can fly in openly." "Yes, except for genetic practitioners. All other technological weapons related to the internet cannot be used." "No, I can use these weapons to attack them." Hearing this, everyone in the audience was shocked. Hackers are scary. It's because the powerful hackers are so scary. Yao Hongjing was dignified. Her eyes bright. She had been worried that the unauthorized attack on the no man's land would result in casualties. But now she didn't have to worry at all. "Thank you, husband." In such excitement, she actually kissed Hu Xin in public. "Oh, god of war, we can't stand it anymore. You are not allowed to show your love like this," the goddess screamed. Yao Hongjing blushed immediately. After a while, he said majestically, "Okay, everyone, be quiet and prepare for battle. Anyone who dares to attack us will be killed, no matter who they are." After saying that, he asked Hu Xin, "Honey, the other party doesn't know that their network has been hacked, right?" Hu Xin said confidently, "Of course I don't know. I can even put advanced viruses into their missiles. When their missiles are launched, the viruses will explode halfway, and then I can turn around and kill them. Is it possible?" Hearing this, everyone was shocked to the extreme. Someone asked, "I've heard of powerful hackers, but I've never heard of a hacker who can do what General Hu said. This only proves one thing: the hackers you have heard of are too low level. I guess General Hu is at least a level 14 hacker. It is said that he is extremely terrifying. Even more terrifying than a level 20 evolutionary G warrior." I suddenly realized that General Hu is really too good. First of all, he is rich, and the gold coins seem to be endless. Second, he is so powerful that the genius Shi Jintian is not even a match for him. Third, his hacking skills are superb and terrifying. Someone chimed in, "Maybe he has other amazing skills?" I seem to understand why so many beautiful women are willing to be his wives. And why even Yao Zanshen was won over by him it's just because he is too outstanding. That's right, I suddenly envy Zemire so much. She actually took the lead and joined General Hu's big family. It seems so difficult for us to join. no matter how difficult it is. I must join General Hu's big family. I want to be his woman and give birth to his children. Chapter 224, Hacker Suppression Battle. A no man's land. A spaceship is coming from a distance. All the major forces discovered that it was a spaceship from the Tianlong military and immediately issued a warning. Warning: this is a no man's land. The Tianlong Kingdom spacecraft must turn around and leave as soon as possible. Otherwise we will launch an attack. At the same time, countless combat aircraft flew up and approached the spacecraft. After a while, the spaceship was surrounded. However, the spacecraft did not stop. They found that there were nearly 30 Zaro troops standing on the deck. I'm warning you again. The Tianlong Kingdom's spacecraft will turn around and leave immediately, or we will open fire. The voice came again. And this is just the strength of one force. After all, they were the first ones the spacecraft came into contact with. Even so, the other side was not afraid at all, because they did not take it seriously at all. The spacecraft continued to move forward without stopping. Tianlong Nation spaceship, you are seeking death. If that's the case, then destroy it. After the other party finished yelling, he roared, fire. Huaxian tapped on the keyboard with a smile. There was no response to the opponent's firing, and the spacecraft was still approaching the lawless urban area. What's going on? I told you to open fire. The person in power was extremely angry. Boss, all the weapons launchers are out of order. A guy in military uniform ran over and said in panic. You're kidding. How is it possible that all the transmitter buttons are not working? Boss, that's it. Boss, we are Air Force One here. The launcher is unresponsive, and we cannot launch an attack. Boss, the same goes for number 2. Number 3. 2. An old military advisor beside him said, Boss, these weapons of ours are all controlled by the network. Are they likely to be hacked by the enemy's hackers? What should we do then? The boss asked in a deep voice. The only way now is to attack manually. Then give me manual attack. Huaxian immediately noticed that the other party was manually loading the weapon. He said coldly, press a button. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Whether it was laser weapons or missiles, they launched crazy attacks towards their own base, which was where the boss was. Damn, what's going on? At this time, even ground weapons, as long as they are network controlled, will launch an attack. However, this boss's genetic level is not low, so he flew away. But all his weapons controlled bases were destroyed. At the same time, aircraft in the air also attacked each other, completely out of the control of the pilots. The battle was easily resolved by Huaxian alone. If anyone tells me that hackers are not as good as genetic warriors, I will turn against him. Look at General Hu. He easily and effortlessly defeated a large number of ragtag troops with just a few keystrokes. The huge commotion here had already alarmed the forces in the entire lawless area. Everyone was shocked to see a medium to large force being easily destroyed by hackers. Just at this moment, Outlaus missiles were launched, all flying towards Huaxian and his spaceship. They want to strike first. Faced with this scene, everyone on the spacecraft looked at Huaxian, waiting to see his performance. Huaxian smiled and pressed a key. Immediately, all the missiles that had flown halfway turned around and launched across attack on the positions of their allies. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Damn it, how could this happen? What level of hacker is able to do this? All the enemy leaders were extremely angry. The other minions all had a look of fear on their faces. Looking at the missiles flying back, I felt even more despair. They wanted to activate the defense function, but there was no response when they pressed the buttons. At this time, countless soldiers reacted and used individual weapons or manual weapons for defense. Huaxian smiled and pressed another key. Suddenly, all the missiles' fuel was ignited, causing its speed to skyrocket. Directly broke through their defenses. I-chach. Just when they were in despair, countless combat aircraft took off. They launched an uncontrollable and frantic attack on their own people. Damn it, how did we offend the Tianlong Kingdom? Why are they targeting us? A big shot roared angrily. A deputy general beside him said, General, I received news that the spacecraft from the Jirat province of Tianlong Kingdom and was heading to the battlefield for resources was replenished in Huayat today. Some soldiers went out to buy supplies and found an attack. The troops that came to the province of Jiut at that time cleared out Harvey and all the forces that had come from our no man's land were wiped out. Now it seems that the other party was angered by the excessive interference of certain forces in our no man's land, so they came to retaliate. I didn't expect that the troops supporting the battlefield would be so terrifying. They carry at least level 14 hackers. We are finished. The general said. Who said that? Isn't it just controlling all our cyber technology weapons? Are all our gene masters just for show? Notify all the major forces and have them gather all their genetic masters to me, so that I can fight them to the death. As the last bastion, the general is full of confidence. A subordinate immediately gave the order confidently. In the lawless area, the first force to face the spaceship was that except for the very powerful genetic masters, all the others were destroyed. No one here is innocent. So the military's attack is merciless. OXIN controlled these aircraft to lead the way. And the spacecraft had already flown into the no man's land urban area. Just at this moment. In the distance, hundreds of thousands of people flew into the sky. And the worst of them exuded the aura of a level 10 genetic warrior. This was the strongest army in the lawless area. They are so densely packed that they block out the sky and make one's scalp tingle just by looking at them. At this time HuXin was typing away on the keyboard. Immediately all their weapons launched an attack. Damn it. Cut off the network immediately. Someone reacted and shouted angrily. But it was too late. Various weapons including lasers, missiles, and sound waves launched a frenzied attack on hundreds of thousands of them. Although the genetic warriors are very powerful, their bodies are not invincible. Ordinary weapons cannot hurt them, but high-tech and high-powered weapons can. Damn it, kill them. As long as they get on the spaceship, they will die. The leading general angrily gave the order to charge. Kill him. Kill. Everyone rushed forward like crazy, recklessly fighting. Every one of them is afraid. It's just because they have a large number of people, close to 500,000 genetically powerful people, and they are not afraid of tens of thousands of people at all. Launch the attack. Yao Hongjing was frightened by the order. Suddenly, various weapons on the spacecraft launched an attack on the enemies. HuXin also controlled the enemy's aircraft, launched a death attack, directly activated the self-destruct program, and rushed towards the enemies. Chapter 225, Bloody Shopping. Boom boom boom. The enemies are so numerous and dense. Faced with the heavy bombardment, even the most powerful genetic warriors could not resist. Countless corpses fell to the ground. Kill them all onto the spaceship. The general roared and cheered from behind. Hundreds of thousands of troops charged madly. The roar of killing was deafening. The murderous aura broke through the sky. Seeing the enemy getting closer and closer to the spaceship, everyone nervously prepared for battle. Although they were all geniuses from various military regions or departments, not many of them had experienced actual combat in such a melee. At this time HuXin said, I declare that based on the enemy's heads, whoever kills the first enemy will be rewarded 100 trillion gold coins. The second place will be 800 trillion gold coins, the third place will be 500 trillion gold coins. A fourth place will be 300 trillion gold coins, and the 5th to 10th places will each be 100 trillion gold coins. When I heard that there would be gold coin rewards for the top 10, especially for the first place, that would be 100 trillion gold coins, I was jealous. I thought, it's almost there. The second place has 800 trillion gold coins, and the third place has 500 trillion gold coins. Kill him. When he got close to the geniuses of various races in San'an, it was like taking stimulants, and he rushed out to kill regardless of everything. Hubby, let's kill him too. Huang Xingyu and the others asked expectantly. Biu, my wife, please be responsible for keeping an eye on my wives. Biu rolled his eyes and said, it seems like I am your free bodyguard. While he was saying this, the man had already rushed out to kill. There was no one else around, so Yao Hongjing said, Hubby, I, the god of war, have become a mere decoration. HuXin hugged her in his arms and said, who said that? If it weren't for you, they wouldn't listen to me who says my wife is the god of war. You are so beautiful, why don't you protect your concubines? Hey, I'm itching to do it too, honey, I'm going to stretch my muscles then. After HuXin finished speaking, he disappeared from the spot. Yao Hongjing looked at HuXin's disappearing after image and muttered. I never thought that I would be controlled by a little brat like you. Fortunately, you are an earthling. The blood I have with you is earth blood. HuXin rushed over with a guy from the other side who was at level 23 in the genetic realm. This guy was extremely cunning. He attacked secretly and several people were caught. Just as he was launching a sneak attack on a friendly soldier, HuXin, holding his sword, also attacked him. Damn it. You despicable guy, how dare you sneak attack me? It's bad enough that this old guy sneak attacks others. But when he was attacked, he still cursed the attacker. HuXin also laughed. Boom. He turned around and defended himself, blocking HuXin's sword. As a result, he was cut by the sword and fell to the ground. Yao Hongjing had been watching HuXin, and when she saw this, she muttered, how much strength does this guy have hidden? There is another guy who is keeping an eye on HuXin, and that is Shi Jintian. Seeing HuXin chop down a level 23 evolved gene warrior with one sword, his body trembled and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. He realized that HuXin had shown mercy to him before. Whoosh! HuXin accelerated and caught up. He has mastered basic all-around combat skills. Each move may seem ordinary, but it actually hits the target. Always be able to find the enemy's weaknesses in the shortest time and launch effective attacks. Boom! There was another loud noise. This old man, who had an evolutionary gene level of 23, could not muster any desire to fight against Hu Xin and felt deeply powerless. General, help me. It was unable to win, so it could only ask for help from the general who was standing still in the distance. The general frowned. Because his enemy is the local god of war. He thought that if he took action, the local war god would definitely take action. Weak, too weak. Hu Xin crushed the level 23 evolved gene warrior and couldn't help but sneer. This is not surprising, he is already a level 21 evolved genetic warrior. And it is really unscientific for him to beat a level 23 warrior. Hu Xin felt a little regretful that he had not learned any powerful swordsmanship. Although the basic all-round combat skills were very powerful, he did not have the kind of swordsmanship that could cause mountains to collapse and the earth to crack with one strike. I don't know when the system will come up with some tasks that reward martial arts skills. Hubby, save me. Steven's cry for help came. She was besieged by 3 masters and was on the verge of death. System, teleport. This is a special skill for the heroine. Because the distance is short, the consumption of reinforcement points can be ignored. The old man who was being beaten by Hu Xin suddenly found that the enemy had disappeared in an instant and was stunned with shock. What is going on? Besides Steven, Hu Xin quietly made a move. And with the swing of the sword, all those who besieged her were killed. Honey, am I really useless? Silly, have you ever fought often? It's okay if you don't have enough combat experience. Just fight while your husband believes that you will become stronger and stronger. With Hu Xin's encouragement, Steven's confidence returned and he charged towards the enemy again. A number of enemies was too large, 30,000 against 400. 0 or 500,000, and the battle was extremely fierce. Fortunately, everyone was extremely crazy for the reward and fought bloody battles. 30,000 people killed 4 or 500,000 people. But it was terrifying. Damn it, are these greenhouse flowers that have never experienced battle? Why are they so fierce and ferocious? That's right. He also said that these hypotheses supporting genius are rubbish. I don't know which idiot said that. It's so cruel. It feels like we are their prey. Have you noticed that they are collecting our heads? Seeing that Hu Xin was no longer interfering, the old man continued his sneak attack. Hu Xin used the air step and his super terrifying agility to approach him and slash at his head with a sword. An extremely strong sense of crisis came over him. And he found that it was too late for him to dodge. No, General, save me? Seeing that his powerful subordinate was about to be killed, the general could no longer sit still. He ignored his vigilance against Yao Hongjing, burst out with extremely terrifying speed, approached Hu Xin, and slashed Hu Xin with one sword. Besiege way to rescue Xiao. Hu Xin ignored it. Yao Hongjing also took action, although her realm was stronger than the opponent. Due to the distance and the fact that the enemy attacked first, she was too late to rescue. She thought Hu Xin would let the enemy go to protect himself. But he didn't. He shouted, "Husband, hide quickly." When the general heard Yao Hongjing's address to Hu Xin, his expression brightened up. He had never expected that this extremely outstanding young man was actually his husband. As long as we kill him, what does it matter if he is just a subordinate? Die. He burst out with even more terrifying power and killed people like Hu Xin. You want to kill me? Hu Xin's cold voice sounded. Mobilize a trace of divine power. Instantly burst out with extremely terrifying speed and power. Click. He cut off the opponent's weapon with one sword, and used the remaining force to directly chop off the opponent's head. This is the horror of God's power, even if there is only a trace of it. It is extremely terrifying. Oh my God, our general is dead. Chapter 226, Post-War Speech. When the general took action, countless people from both the enemy and our side were watching. So when the general died, it was also seen by countless people. Everyone in the military was shocked and couldn't believe what realm Hu Xin was in. He cut off the enemy general's weapon with one sword and then killed the general with the remaining force. Even Yao Hongjing, who rushed over to rescue, was stunned with shock. Run, run, the general is dead. The big leaders were all dead. And hundreds of thousands of their subordinates suddenly became a mess. They had no fighting spirit and fled in all directions. Kill. The military people hunted him down frantically for the reward. Hu Xin returned to the spacecraft with Yao Hongjing. Wang Xingyu and the others also rushed back towards the spaceship and did not chase after them like the others. Husband, what kind of power did you suddenly burst out just now? Why does it make me feel so scared? Yao Hongjing asked in shock. Wife, have you forgotten that there is a god behind me? You mean, that's divine power? Yes, that's right, but honey, this has to be kept secret. Yao Hongjing was so shocked. And then she was extremely envious, thinking, I am also of earth blood. Why is there no god behind me? After thinking about it carefully, I think the gods behind Huxian are probably the people who have helped various worlds in the past. If they didn't die, they would probably have become gods one by one. Hubby, you looked so handsome just now. You killed that guy with just one sword. As expected of my husband. One by one, they came to Huxian and praised him in various ways. Huxian smiled and said, "Wife, you guys are amazing too. I've been following you guys are great." "Really? Husband?" Valia asked excitedly. "Of course it's true. My wives are the best." Steven said depressed lie, "I can't do it. If my husband hadn't saved me, I wouldn't be able to see everyone." "Steven, don't be like this. I saw what happened to you just now. If it were us, any of us would be in danger." "That's right. Just try harder next time." "Thank you, everyone." After about an hour, those who had gone out to chase and kill came back one after another. When they returned to the spaceship one by one, the first thing they did was to report their battle results. Looking at the mountain of heads, everyone felt a little nauseous. So Huang Xingyu and the others left first. It took 3 full hours for everyone to return. After completing the statistics, the first place was a member of the Sea Tribe. The second place was a member of the Human Tribe. The third place was a member of the Spider Tribe. The fourth place was a member of the Lion Tribe, and the fifth place. Huxian kept his promise and distributed bonuses to the top 11. Ding! Congratulations to the host for spending 320 trillion gold coins within 24 hours and obtaining 10 Zari's high-level strengthening pills. Ding! New mission. Within 24 hours, complete the consumption of 330 trillion gold coins. Failure of the mission will result in permanent paralysis of the limbs. Completing the mission will earn you 10,000 advanced strengthening pills as a reward. The first 10 people who received the bonuses were extremely excited. "Thank you, General Hu. Everyone admires and likes Huxian. A great man who does what he says." Subsequently, each major team reported casualties. A number of intermediate casualties was previously 300. Mostly humans. It can be seen that victory in this battle was not easy. Although there are many enemies, they are facing geniuses from various military regions and military departments. These people are going to go to the battlefield and face alien races, extraterrestrial creatures and alien creatures. Logically, there shouldn't be so many casualties. But that's the way it is. Their remains were collected by their respective teams and sent back home when they returned from the battlefield. Of course, when we go to the battlefield, those alien races, extraterrestrial creatures, and even many alien creatures feed on humans. So it is difficult to leave corpses behind. Overall, Huxian won this battle. After all, they are 30,000 against 500. The gap is too big. All major teams are sharing their experiences with their own soldiers. At this time, Yao Hongjing arrived and announced loudly, "Everyone gather." The teams quickly assembled on the plywood. Yao Hongjing looked around the room majestically and said, "Congratulations everyone for participating in the first battle on the battlefield. However, this battle is between us humans and the human race, and our enemies are too weak compared to the alien races. Alien creatures and extraterrestrial creatures, so don't let your guard down just because you won this battle. Do you understand?" "Clear." Yao Hongjing nodded and looked at Huxian and said, "Husband, do you have anything to say?" Everyone's eyes fell on Huxian. Huxian walked up and said with a smile, "Everyone's overall performance is still good. But in fact it is very poor." After hearing this, everyone who was originally in a good mood became serious and looked at Huxian, waiting for him to continue. "First of all, our enemy is a mob. Secondly, we lost more than 1,000 people in this battle. That's sacrifice, not including injuries. Then each of us is a genius in our own army and military. Except for those who went to the battlefield to gain experience. In conclusion, we are a group of geniuses, fighting against a bunch of rabble. But we failed to win and more than 1,000 people died? Was it accidental or carelessness? Why did so many people die? Have you ever reflected on this? If you go to a cruel battlefield, it will be like hell. Tell me, how many soldiers can return home alive when more than 1,000 people are killed, just to fight against a group of rabble?" After hearing this, everyone fell silent, and the excitement brought by the battle disappeared. So what if I'm a genius? Once we go to the battlefield, it's either you die or I live. I think you guys understand what I said. But do you know where you are lacking? Huxian asked. Everyone shook their heads. Huxian changed his tone and scolded with his eyes. "You are a team, let's not talk about the big things. You are from the same military headquarters and military region. So you are a familiar small team facing enemies that are dozens of times more numerous than you. Since you are a team, why don't you fight as a team? But fight one by one, you will end up being besieged by several enemies at once. Let me tell you, of the more than 1,000 people who died, More than 95 were killed in the encirclement. After hearing this, everyone suddenly realized, yes, they are a team if they fight together. How could they be surrounded and killed? With genius and teamwork, they could have unleashed even more powerful combat power. But they didn't do so. We were wrong, said the leader of a team. Yes, we were wrong. Everyone admitted their mistakes. Huaxian said, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. What's important is to know your mistakes and correct them. Don't follow in their footsteps, or you may be the next one to make mistakes. Besides, the extraterritorial creatures, alien creatures, and alien races on the battlefield are stronger than us. Apart from fighting as a team, unless they are truly evil, how many of us can fight them alone? Alright, disband. The next battle will be on the battlefield. Chapter 227, Essen Battlefield. 3 days later, the spacecraft flew into a dark forest. That's right, all the trees and things here are black. And they are very tall and hard. Rumor has it that this thing grew out of the earth, soaked with the blood of countless genes. And this place is already a battlefield. However, it is located on the inland edge. So the possibility of alien races and foreign creatures appearing here is not high. The spaceship is not alone, because this is the guide to the city at the center of the battlefield. So the spaceships from other cities also have to pass through here. Just like Huaxian and his team, it is equivalent to 3 spaceships traveling together, even greeting each other. Oh my god, look, there are so many beauties on that spaceship from the province of Gerut. It's true, beauties, hello, do you have a partner? Someone shouted madly. There is no partner, so you guys just live your life. A beautiful Z-People girl responded loudly. Really? Then I'll come over. This guy is just talking after all. At his level, his flying speed is not as fast as that of a spaceship. Yao Hongjing said at this time, it will take 5 hours to reach the central city. Sister Hongjing, please tell us about the central city. Chen Yuanian said expectantly. The central city is the only foothold for our tribes on the battlefield. And it is also the final barrier against the 3 heretical creatures. If this barrier is broken, then our battlefield will be lost. Isn't the central city very big? Of course it's huge. Stretching across the entire battlefield. Also, all the major cities are sending support this time. Which proves that the situation in the central city is not optimistic. It proves that the previous garrison troops suffered heavy casualties and there is no one left. So they are urgently asking for help. So, the situation on the battlefield this time is going to be very bad. Whether you have been to the battlefield before or not, you must be mentally prepared. We are not afraid. As long as our husband is here, we are not afraid no matter how bad the situation is, Murong Feir said firmly. Hearing this, Huaxian smiled bitterly and felt tremendous pressure. System, open the strengthening pills I have encountered. 3 consumption asks were completed during these 3 days. Naturally to distribute betrothal gifts to the wives. So there were an additional 30,000 high-level strengthening pills. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have opened 80. 0 advanced enhancement pills and obtained 800 billion points. The current remaining enhancement points are 19,908. 350.49 million points. Looking at the more than 19 trillion reinforcement points, which seemed like a lot, Huaxian smiled bitterly. To upgrade to level 15. A single attribute requires 100 trillion points. The strengthening points gained from the money spending mission are simply not enough for the upgrade. It would be fine if Huang Xingyu and the others reached the peak level of 15. As they could directly use special gene points for enhancement. But they are only level 14, which is the most embarrassing thing. Therefore, it is unlikely to improve their strength in a short period of time. As we went deeper into the trees and plants, the darkness became even greater. Looking around, the earth and even the river water were dark. The sky was also dim and dark. The whole world became gloomy and terrifying. Just like hell. Everyone looked at the dark forest, feeling increasingly depressed. After Huaxian looked at it, he said, why do I feel like there is an atmosphere here that affects people's emotions? Hearing this, everyone's eyes were focused on Huaxian. Don't you realize that as long as you stare at those black things, your mood will become more and more depressed, your emotions will become more and more tense, and then you will feel panic and fear. It's true. Someone exclaimed. So, I concluded that these dark things are probably not that simple. And what should we do? It's impossible not to watch it, right? Someone asked. It's not a question of whether to watch or not. It's about your mind and your faith. As long as your heart is strong enough, you can fight the gods and become stronger and stronger. I think those who remain on the battlefield have overcome this. Yao Hongjing said, I have been here 5 times, but I have never noticed that this black forest affects my mood. If I look closely, it does seem to be a little bit. So, on the battlefield, it's not just about being strong, you also need to be careful and serious. Yes, yes. My husband is right. In front of Hu Xin, Yao Hongjing's girlish aura became more and more intense. 3 hours passed quickly. In the distance, a high-tech wall with no end in sight is embedded in the clouds. The height of this city wall is probably no less than 1,000 meters. There are also city gates on the ground, which look extremely low in front of the towering city walls. People who came to the battlefield for the first time were shocked when they saw such a city wall. Why are the city walls so high? Someone asked. All those who come here for the first time have the same doubts in their minds. Because among the three alien races, many are unable to fly but have great strength and amazing jumping ability. So the city wall is built so high to defend against this kind of alien race. This is just what you see on land under the land. There are alien races thousands of meters deep and defending huge holes. So, the enemies we have to face are not only on land and in the air, but also underground. Yes, there are enemies everywhere. The spaceship flew into the city, and everyone discovered that in the distance, very far away, there was a towering city wall. Inside the wall were countless buildings, with people coming and going, and it looked very lively. Oh my god, this is the living area? Nonsense, there are black forests on both sides. If we don't isolate the living area, where will all our soldiers rest? However, in this situation, if it is breached, this side can still hold out. So it can be considered two lines of defense. The people on the ground also looked at the incoming spaceship with curiosity. Come to the location where the spaceship is parked. Everyone discovered that many spaceships had been parked. Not only those from Qianlong Kingdom, but also those from other countries. After all, the enemies on the battlefield were the common enemies of all countries. Each country is divided into a plate, and the spacecrafts of each country have already received the top position when they fly into the city. When we saw the other two spaceships flying to other plates, we realized that the two spaceships that had traveled together were not from the same country at all. The spaceships landed, and outside each spaceship there was a soldier with a murderous look waiting. They were all veterans. Yao Hongjing got off the spaceship and asked curiously, "What's going on the battlefield? Why are there sudden reinforcements?" The old soldier replied inferently, "The battlefield has undergone tremendous changes. The number of the three alien races has suddenly increased threefold. Our soldiers have suffered heavy casualties and have retreated to the last line of defense. If we lose again, we will reach the central city." Hearing this, Yao Hongjing's expression became extremely solemn. "Then are we going to the battlefield directly?" The boss said, "No, you came a day late. Those ahead of you have already gone to the battlefield. You will go to the battlefield tonight or tomorrow. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll let everyone move freely in the city." Can. Chapter 228, Failed Romance. Everyone was very curious about the central city. And when they heard about the free time, they dispersed in groups of 3 or 4. Hu Xin said, "Let's go to the city for a walk. The city is so huge that you can't see the boundaries from north to south. And the east to west is over 10,000 meters long. This is a true megacity. No other city in the inland can compare with it. After all, this is the only city on the battlefield that is supported by the entire continent. Honey, where do you want to go shopping?" Yao Hongjing changed her clothes and came over to ask. "I want to see where I can buy treasures to see if I can improve everyone's strength. By the way, system, can genetic blood be refined into strengthening points?" Ding, genetic blood can be directly refined into strengthening points. The ratio of ordinary strengthening points is 1 to 1. And the ratio of evolutionary strengthening points is 10,000 to 1. For every ton of genetic blood refined, 0.5 ratio of extraction strengthening points is consumed. Do you want to refine? After seeing this introduction, Hu Xin didn't want to mention it anymore. It is equivalent to 1 gene point corresponding to 1 strengthening point. A key is that the system will deduct 0.5 strengthening points when refining, which means that 1 gene point can be used to refine 0.5 strengthening points. Only fools refine. Yao Hongjing smiled and said, "Hubby, there are also some in the central city of the gene blood pool, and there are a lot of them. The prices vary according to the purity. We have the devouring gene, so it's most cost-effective to soak in the blood pool, and it will improve the fastest." When he heard about the blood pool, Hu Xian's eyes lit up. "Okay, let's go soak in the blood pool. I was thinking that I had been worrying about how to improve the realm of Huang Xingyu and the others. Wouldn't this solve the problem?" So Yao Hongjing took the lead and opened a blood pool business store. Over time, every industry has become an industrial chain. "Dear guests, are you going to soak in the blood pool?" the waiter asked happily when he saw so many people arriving. "That's right, we're going to take a bath in a blood pool. How do we calculate the price for the best blood pool?" "Sir, this is the best blood pool we have here. Each person loses 1 really in gold coins. Do you think you need a dip?" Upon hearing the price, Hu Xin smiled and said, "Soak, there are 27 of us here. And each person soaks for 10 hours. How many gold coins?" A waiter was overjoyed and quickly calculated, thinking that he had met a big customer. Sir, there are 27 of you if each of you works for 10 hours. That's 10 trillion gold coins 7 people will get 270 trillion gold coins. You know, this is trillions, not 10,000. After Hu Xin excitedly transferred the money, the waiter who received the payment was also very happy. Sir, please follow me. Soon they arrived at an extremely luxurious hall. And the waiter said, Sir, this is the high-end area for men's blood-soaking pools. And across from this is the high-end area for women's blood-soaking pools. Are there no private rooms? Sir, yes, but that will require an additional payment of 100 billion gold coins. You see. Transfer. After the transfer, Hu Xin said to Deng Zhongyi, You can just take a bath in the public blood pool. My wives and I will go to the private room. Finally, he walked into the public blood pool in silence. A waiter took Hu Xin and the others to a large private room. There is a huge blood pool in the middle, which can easily accommodate 50 people to take a bath together. Sir, the timer has started. Please enjoy your meal slowly. If you need anything, please press the button next to the blood pool. Okay. A waiter left and closed the door. Everyone couldn't wait to take off their clothes and rush to the pool of blood. Hu Xin looked at their perfect bodies and felt extremely moved. He quickly took off his clothes. Here I come, ladies. Pounced on it. After entering the blood pool, Hu Xin discovered that this so-called advanced blood pool was not as good as the blood pool in Yao Hongjing's secret room, and its effect was only about 1/3 of that. Yao Hongjing saw through Hu Xin's doubts and said with a smile, People do business to make money. It's better to have blood pool bubbles than nothing. Hu Xin thought this was also true, and suddenly asked, Hongjing, can the genetic blood I collected be used directly in it? Of course not. The effects of genetic blood vary from race to race. Some genetic blood is highly toxic and needs to be specially processed and purified before it can be put into the blood pool for use. Upon hearing this, Hu Xin nodded and thought that since he possessed divine power, he should be able to take a bath directly with genetic blood. As for the poison, tens of millions of points of poison resistance are not just for show. Thinking I'd give it a try if I had the chance. System. Activate super blessing for all of us. Ding, super blessing is activated successfully. Consuming 10 million reinforcement points per second. Although the price has increased, Hu Xin doesn't feel bad at all. After all, the genetic power enhanced by this blood pool is too strong. Faced with so many beauties, Hu Xin certainly wanted to do something bad. The result was rejected by everyone. After all, everyone is together, and no one is shameless enough to do bad things with Hu Xin in front of so many people. Time passed minute by minute, and after 2 hours, the 14 people including Huang Xingyu from Earth broke through to the 15th level of the genetic realm one after another. This is the advantage of having a low realm, improving quickly. In the 5th tower, they broke through again and reached the 16th level of the evolutionary gene realm. One after another, Shen Yuanian, Kai Yaoyun and others also broke through and reached the 20th level of evolutionary genes. At the 9th hour, Huang Xingyu and the other 14 people broke through again, all reaching level 17, breaking through 3 major realms in succession. The effect of the blood pool here is greatly reduced. Otherwise the effect would be better. Even so, Huang Xingyu and the others were extremely excited. Yao Hongjing and Biayu, who are very powerful, did not make a breakthrough. Even Yi Zhu and the others didn't have it. Seeing that the voice of time had reached its last hour, Yan Lishuan could not help but ask, Hubby, can we extend it for a few more hours? I feel that I will be able to break through in 3 more hours at most. Yao Hongjing looked at the time and said, Honey, it's only 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's go and add another 3 hours there. Has still about an hour left. 4 hours in total. I'll be back at the base at 7 o'clock. So we'll be in time. Good. Hu Xin stood up and used his great strength to shake off the blood on his body, put on his clothes and went to renew his subscription. When they reached the entrance of the public blood pool, a woman rushed out from the girl's side that Hu Xin was walking on and bumped into Hu Xin in the chest. The elastic feeling left Hu Xin stunned, and he thought, could this be a romantic encounter? The woman looked at Hu Xin and exclaimed in her heart, so handsome. She subconsciously said, you bumped into me. You have to take responsibility for me. Hearing the rough, hoarse voice like that of a man, Hu Xin looked suddenly at the other person's face. Vomit. It was so ugly that I almost vomited. It was unbelievable. How could such perfect balls appear on such an ugly girl? If you dare to despise my ugliness, then you'd better be my man obediently. A realm of this ugly girl is not low. It is actually the 18th level of genetic realm. And the mad hug is like Hu Xin. Chapter 229, Trillion Dollar Beauty. Hu Xin was frightened to death and punched hard. Bang! He knocked the ugly girl out with one punch and left quickly. It's so terrifying. A little absent smite. At the corner, There was another collision, and Hu Xin subconsciously raised his fist. The other party was already very unhappy about being bumped into. And when he saw Hu Xin raising his fist, he shouted angrily, "You bumped into me, and you still want to hit me?" Hearing the sweet voice, Hu Xin subconsciously looked up. I was stunned for a moment. Beautiful. Even though there are more than 20 beauties around me, I still think this beauty is so beautiful. She was wearing a professional suit, but it was a deep V, and her long legs were covered in black. The professional skirt was very short, as if you could see it. But you couldn't see it if you looked carefully. Her figure was curvy and her S-curve was perfect. Takaya Slun stared at Hu Xin with his big eyes, a little angry. Wife no daughter, in-law. Hu Xin slapped himself. Sorry ma'am, I really didn't mean it. Incoherent. I don't know if it was intentional or not. The beautiful woman frowned and asked, are you taking advantage of me? No, I swear to you, if I take advantage of you, I will marry you. Boy, you are tired of living. A mighty man with extremely strong muscles, who was obviously a power super soldier, was 2.2 meters tall. A head taller than Hu Xin, who was 1.9 meters tall. He walked over while speaking angrily. There were also a few people nearby looking at this place curiously. The man came in front of the beautiful woman, smiled, and said in a very flattering way, Ruxin, did this guy molest you? I will help you vent your anger. The beautiful woman didn't say anything about this. She looked at Hu Xin coldly and took a step back. The man immediately understood what she meant, and looked at Hu Xin with great joy, thinking, is this giving him a chance? It makes me excited just thinking about it. Boy, you even dare to molest my goddess Ruxin. I think you are tired of living. He swung his fist and punched Hu Xin with full confidence. With his 18th level of evolutionary genes, he was confident that he could easily deal with the guy in front of him. I have already seen the scene where Hu Xin was knocked unconscious by his punch. Hu Xin said disaffectedly, boy, this is not the way to pick up girls. He grabbed his fist and gently threw it behind him. And the man flew out uncontrollably. Hu Xin didn't even look back. He looked at the beautiful woman and said, wife, I'm going to renew the subscription. Wait for me, don't worry, there will be benefits soon. Hu Xin happily went to renew his subscription. After all, Tan Ruxin's place was added. Tan Ruxin didn't really wait for her but walked away. When Hu Xin came over, he had already run away. System. Add the heroine Tan Ruxin to me. Ding failed to add the heroine Tan Ruxin. Tan Ruxin doesn't like the hero favorability value is 40. Please cheer up, hero, you can add the heroine if the favorability value is above 60. Hu Xin was speechless. The addition failed. Is it because of my low appearance? Is this Tan Ruxin not fond of me? System, give me $1 trillion face value. Ding, congratulations to the host. The enhancement of the trillion appearance has been successful. And $1 trillion money will be spent. Ding, the current host's appearance has reached the realm of perfection. And the host is rewarded with a top quality charm suit. You and the heroine will fight together. Each heroine will increase the hero's combat power by 10. When Hu Xin heard about this reward, he was stunned for a moment. I didn't expect that improving one's appearance to a certain level would have such a good effect. Oh my god, so handsome, even prettier than the super beauty Tan Ruxin. How can there be such a handsome, flawless man in the world? In the distance, a girl who came in to take a bath exclaimed when she saw Hu Xin. Everyone else, both men and women, were stunned by Hu Xin's appearance. Perfect. Such a divine beauty can only be described as perfect. At the same time, Hu Xin's body curves have also reached the best conditions. And one look at it will make people obsessed. Hu Xin smiled slightly and walked towards the box confidently. Oh my god, his back is so perfect, I like him so much. But I have low self-esteem, I feel like I am not worthy of him. I don't even dare to pursue him. I feel the same way. I feel his looks are like those of a god, inviolable. Isn't it the beauty of a god that is so amazing? Hu Xin returned to the box and all the female protagonists looked over. Hubby, why are you coming back now? Before he could finish his words, everyone looked at Hu Xin, who had a handsome face, with their mouths wide open. Stunned. Hu Xin's smile is as warm as a spring breeze, making people feel extremely comfortable. All the heroines. Long-time women but not God. After a full quarter of an hour, Biu was the first to react and exclaimed, are you a godlike beauty? Hey, Biu's wife, you actually know what a beautiful girl looks like? Hu Xin looked curious. Biu said, because our angels are all very beautiful. Rumor has it that they are second only to gods, and your current appearance, husband, is far beyond ours, so what else can you say except the appearance of a god? Husband, how come you suddenly become so perfect and flawless? I even feel like I'm not worthy of you. Chen Yuan said sorry. Me too, I'm so inferior. Okay, Don't you all know that there is a god behind me? I have completed my consumption tasks well recently, and my beauty that originally sealed me has been restored. Huaxian lied. Anyway, everything comes down to God. Ah, so, have you always been this good-looking, husband? Of course, don't you think you are lucky to have such a handsome husband? Yes, it's a lot of money. I feel so lucky, thank you. My husband, Xing Xiao once said excitedly. She was telling the truth. The process of her meeting and being together with Huaxian was extremely bumpy. In fact, she still owed Huaxian 1 million gold coins. Because she couldn't repay the debt, Huaxian kept her by his side. She didn't expect that she would become the heroine. Of course, Huaxian hasn't touched her yet, so his feelings towards her are limited. Take a bath. Honey, will the children we have in the future be as good looking as you? Asked Thalia. The others all looked at Huaxian, all looking forward to this question. Of course, I have a godlike appearance, and my child must surpass me as a father. Then husband, let's have a baby, Judy said excitedly. This is not something I can control you. We've seen that every time we had sex. We didn't take any safety precautions, but you didn't get pregnant. And now we are still young and have so many things to do. Such as having children. When everything is stable, we will find a paradise. I will farm and you will weave. I don't weave in this era of super technology. Even my husband doesn't have anyone who can weave, Deng Yao said. That's right, so we just lie down? Then lie down. Chapter 230, all troops gathered. The bath is over. The time is 6:48. Yan Lishuan, Izu and the other 3 successfully broke through to the 23rd level of evolutionary genes. Everyone got up and left. In the corridor, Huaxian was thinking about the beautiful girl Tenruxin. At this time, the way forward was blocked by a fat and ugly girl. He stared at Huaxian and was stunned by his divine looks. Huaxian looked at her and was also trembling with fear. Wasn't she the fat girl he thought he had a romantic encounter with before? Subconsciously, he hid behind Huang Xingyu and the others. Hubby, what's wrong with you? Value asked curiously. Wife, didn't you notice that the way this fat girl looks at me is not right? Hubby, you're so handsome. I feel like everyone looks at you in a weird way. At this time, the fat girl reacted and shouted angrily in her rough voice. It was you, you bastard, who took advantage of me and even knocked me out. What did you do to me after you knocked me out? You must be responsible. A loud voice attracted many people who were doing exercises to come out and watch curiously. When we saw Huaxian's amazing looks, we were all stunned. Someone muttered, how can there be such a perfect appearance in the world? And it actually appears on a man. Hey, fatty, stop talking nonsense. Even if I'm pretty, you can't slander me like this, Huaxian said depressed lie. I didn't slander you, you bastard. You touched my breast. Stared at him for a long time, and then knocked me out. You must have done something to me. Buff. Fatty's words made many people who reacted vomit on behalf of Huaxian. I thought this fat girl is really shameless. How could she be attracted to you with such a pretty face? And she even molested you. Ugly freak, stop talking nonsense. If you dare to slander my idol again, I will be rude to you. Finally Huaxian's little fan girl stood up. That's right. We are disgusted by the sight of an ugly person like you. How could a male god molest you? You probably dream of being molested by a male god. More and more people stood up. Huaxian breathed a sigh of relief. I feel depressed and it is bad luck to encounter such a thing. At this time, Tenruxin also came out. When he saw Huaxian, he was stunned. And I looked at him curiously and thought, that's him. How come his appearance has become so handsome? Such beauty made her heart beat faster. Honey, let's go quickly. It's too dangerous. Huaxian left quickly. You are not allowed to leave. You must be responsible for me, the fat girl yelled in a rough voice. Huaxian ran out as fast as he could. When encountering this situation, you can't kill the other person after all. The other person is not wrong. So it is really difficult to deal with. Oh my god. Handsome guy, when did such a handsome guy come to our central city? When he came to the street, Huaxian's handsome looks immediately caused a sensation. Men, women, young and old were all shocked. They all put down what they were doing and looked at Huaxian, as if watching him was a kind of enjoyment. The lady who sold fried eggs on the roadside fried the eggs badly. Handsome guy, can you tell me the price and contact information? Please, no matter how many beautiful women farmers there are around Huaxian. There are also beautiful women who muster up the courage to come forward and ask for contact Fangxi. Handsome guy, I want your contact information too. Man, give me. I want to sleep with you. I want to be your wife. Was someone taking the lead? More people gathered around with courage. Well, I have something else to do. I'll give it to you next time. Huaxian escaped several times. Wang Xingyu and the others all laughed when they saw this. This is the first time I see my husband in such a mess. Holly said with a smile. Me too, it looks like some people won't dare to show their faces when they go out in the future. But we are happy just thinking about being with such a handsome husband every day. Me too. I never thought that if I liked a man, I would feel satisfied just by looking at him. Let's go, let's get back to the base. Huaxian went straight back to his own spaceship. There are no other accommodations arranged at the base. So the troops coming from various major cities all live on the additional spacecraft. When Agump and the others came back, the first thing they did was to find Huaxian. Honey, how is it? Doesn't it feel good to be liked by so many people? Agnes asked with a smile. It's okay, I just have too many wives. Otherwise I could find a few more. Hubby, if you want to find it, go ahead, we have no objection anyway. It's okay as long as you can handle it when the time comes. Hubby, it's my turn to sleep with you tonight. I'll sleep with you tonight. Faced with such a handsome Huaxian, a group of female protagonists scrambled to sleep with him. Huaxian said with a headache, okay, it's only morning now. Why are you thinking about evening? I don't care. I want to sleep with you tonight, Chen Yuanian said. I thought to myself, I am my husband's first woman in the genetic world. And I am the first in line. Okay, I'll arrange it. The order of sleeping with you will be based on the time you follow me. The first one to follow me was Huang Xingyu. The second was Mulrong Feier. The third was the last one was Yao Hongjing. To be fair, please follow the time I arrange. Hubby, I've been waiting in line for more than 20 days. I don't want to do it, Zimeir said. Huaxian spread his hands and said, there is nothing I can do if you don't want to do it. I have too many wives and I can't treat any of them unfairly. Who told you to be so unfaithful and find so many wives? And let's put it this way, I will find a wife in terms of chronological order. Huang Xingyu is my wife, and none of you are you willing? You wish to abandon me is like abandoning me, you are just dreaming. At this time, Yao Hongjing's assistant arrived. War God, someone has come to the base and said that the battle situation has intensified. They asked us to leave the city and gather. We will be at the front line in an hour. All troops muster. Yao Hongjing turned on the communicator and shouted to all the generals. All the soldiers on the entire spaceship rushed to the deck. Yao Hongjing said to everyone, don't fight over who will sleep with you first. When you go to the battlefield, what you need to do is to survive well. Let's go. In less than 5 minutes, the entire army was assembled. The same is true on other spacecraft. Assemble, click finished. Yao Hongjing nodded, and the army headed to the brocade box outside the opposite city wall. Some are nervous, some are excited, and some are looking forward to it. A quarter of an hour later, everyone came to the outside of the city wall, and saw leftovers and broken arms everywhere, not a single intact place. Looking back, the towering city walls were actually riddled with holes in countless patches. It can be seen that the city wall has been patched up and there is no intact part. All troops muster. That's right, all the support troops that arrived yesterday and today are gathered together. At first glance, it is so densely packed that there is no end in sight. Fortunately, there is an extremely huge crystal plate on the city wall, which is very high-tech. It shows how many people a country's army has. Huaxian took a look and found that the total number of people gathered had exceeded 10 million. And more troops were on the way. Chapter 231, I have something to say. This military strength data is very shocking. Of course, it is not surprising when you think that this is an army assembled from the entire continent. There are races from every continent, but on the battlefield, there is no racial dislike, no internal hatred, only external enemies. After about half an hour, all the troops had gathered. Looking at the crystal plate again, there were a full 23 million people. At this moment, a burly old man with bare chest, covered with wounds and even his face was covered with scars, fell from the sky, exuding a destructive aura. Yao Hongjing, who was standing by, introduced. He is Shang Da, the city lord of the central city. He has been here for 1,000 years and has never left. Huaxian asked curiously, what realm is he in now? Evolutionary gene level 30. That's not right, Sister Hongjing Dozhen. It say that people over 500 years old cannot enter here? Zhang Cheng asked curiously. Yao Hongjing said. So the city lord has never left, because he has to stay here. That is to say, as long as you don't leave the battlefield. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? Yes, that's right. There are many old masters on the battlefield, but they won't take action. They just stay in the central city. Only those who can go to the battlefield are less than 500. At this time, the city lord said majestically, you have just come to the battlefield and have seen the situation on the battlefield. Are you afraid? Everyone was silent, no one said anything. Of course I am afraid, but if I admit it at this time, I would be too cowardly. I am afraid I will never be able to hold my head up high in my life. Okay, very good, it's good that you are not afraid. When you go to the battlefield, there are only two results. The enemy dies, or you die. Hold on for 3 days, and then you will take turns to rest. The enemy has many treasures. If you get them, they belong to you. The enemy's head represents different points according to their strength. The points can be used in the central city to exchange for all the resources you need. If you have no objections, you can board the super spaceship and prepare to go to the battlefield. No one had any opinions because opinions were useless at this time. Since everyone has no objection, then log in. Wait. I have something to say, Hu Xin said as he flew towards the city lord. Suddenly, the eyes of more than 20 million people were focused on Hu Xin. So handsome. This guy is so handsome. I wish he could be my husband. What should I do if I, a man, fall in love with him? The scene went into an uproar. Some people also said, what's the use of being handsome on the battlefield? The enemy will not let him go just because he is handsome. The city lord frowned at Hu Xin seeing how handsome he was. He thought he was just a gigolo, perhaps someone trying to gild his reputation. Flying towards me now would be like taking a backdoor. Dream on. What do you want to say? The city lord asked in a very unfriendly tone. Hu Xin's grin raised his appearance to a higher level. Oh my god, it's so handsome, it's worth dying to fight with such a handsome man, said a crazy woman. City lord, I will tell you something to boost morale. It's good to be assured. After saying that, Hu Xin turned around and looked at the audience, and announced loudly, I am Hu Xin, and I have come from the Jiret province of Tianlong Kingdom. Apart from my good looks, I have nothing left but gold coins. Today I am delaying everyone's time just to announce that I will purchase genetic blood and other precious items at level 1 at 5 times the market price. Yes, you heard it right, I will buy genetic blood at 5 times the market price. All other level 1 precious things will be sold at 5 times the market price. Everyone remember this, and remember my appearance. If you have good things, sell them to me, and I will sell them at 5 times the market price. Why should I believe that you have so many gold coins? A level 16 genetic warrior asked loudly. Just because I'm stronger than you. Hu Xin suddenly became arrogant, and a trace of divine power merged into the realm of the 21st level of evolutionary genes, bursting out and sweeping the whole place. The army of more than 2,000 people was stunned in an instant. Even the city lord next to Hu Xin was shocked. It was unbelievable that this guy, whom he treated as a gigolo to gild his reputation, actually possessed such terrifying strength. They are at least level 25 evolved gene warriors, which is the level of gods of war on the battlefield. Oh my god, he is so handsome and good looking even when he is angry. I feel wronged if I can leave the battlefield. God, please bless me to marry him. A girl made a wish while shouting madly. Me too. I want to marry him, even if I become a ghost. All the girls in the audience went crazy. Hu Xin retracted his aura and said, I, Hu Xin, said I would buy them at 5 times the market price. That is absolutely fair, so if you like gold coins or are short of gold coins, please feel free to contact me. Then he pressed his hand. Everyone fell silent tacitly, staring at Hu Xin quietly, waiting for him to speak. Hu Xin continued, in addition, I will personally reward anyone who gets first place in points in this round of battle with 300 trillion gold coins, second place with 200 trillion gold coins, third place with 100 trillion gold coins, and fourth and 10th place with 500 trillion gold coins respectively. The final number of reward places will be determined by the ranking of this round announced by the central city. The city lord will be your witness. After saying that, he turned to look at the city lord and said, City lord, I have finished what I want to say. The city lord finally reacted and looked at Hu Xin with a shocked look. Your name is Hu Xin, are you sure everything you said is not a joke? Hu Xin said seriously, of course I'm not kidding. Then he looked at the audience and said, how about this? To prove that I am not kidding, I will first pay a deposit of 360 trillion gold coins to the city lord. So, even if I'm joking, I'll still lose 360 trillion gold coins. And you won't lose anything, right? Give me the city lord's account. The city lord frowned for a while before taking out his account. Hu Xin transferred the money immediately. Ding, congratulations to the host. Within 24 hours, you have completed the consumption of 360 trillion gold coins and received 10 Zerashai level strengthening pills as a reward. Ding! New mission, within 24 hours, complete the consumption of 370 trillion gold coins. Failure of the mission will result in permanent paralysis of the limbs. Completing the mission will earn you 10,000 high-level strengthening pills as a reward. After receiving the gold coins, the city lord was stunned again when he saw the real 360 trillion gold coins. I looked at Hu Xin in disbelief, thinking, this guy is really rich. He took a deep breath, looked at everyone and announced, this Hu Xin from Tianlong country did transfer 360 trillion gold coins to me. And I will testify for him everyone. Work hard to get into the top 10 of the standings. This is an extra gold coin reward. Someone asked doubtfully. Will it work for all of us? It won't only work for the Tianlong Nation's army. Right? Huaxian said loudly. It is effective for every creature among our more than 23 million. The city lord is my witness. Hearing this, the whole audience was excited and all yearned for the first place. Chapter 230, Stunning. A super spaceship that can accommodate 30 million people was launched and flew towards the battlefield. Huaxian stood in the center of the deck of the spacecraft, looking in all directions, feeling so insignificant. This super spaceship that can accommodate 30 million people is too huge. Even with more than 3 million more people, it doesn't seem crowded. Yao Hongjing and the others came to Huaxian and asked, Husband, what are you thinking about? Wife, didn't you go out for a stroll? Why are you back? It's too boring without you, my husband. You should come with us. This spaceship is like a super city. It's so huge. Let's go shopping together. That's right. This spaceship is basically a mobile super city. At this time, an old soldier arrived. They will not go to the front line, but only serve on the spacecraft. Sir, a girl asked me to give you this envelope. Huaxian took the envelope curiously. Elias said, Honey, it must be a love confession letter. Hubby, take a look at what's written. Everyone gathered around Huaxian curiously. Huaxian opened the envelope and took out a letter. Mr. Hu, you called me wife, madam, and daughter-in-law the other day. Why don't you want to take responsibility now? I'll wait for you in room 99 on the second floor. Husband, who are you calling wife? Chen Yuanian asked immediately. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, That day when I was taking a bath, I was bumped into by that ugly fat girl first. I was frightened by her beauty and ran away in panic. And I bumped into Tan Ruxin, who wrote the letter. So when you see someone who's pretty, you call them wife, right? Almost you don't know she is so beautiful. Her looks are second only to mine. If you don't believe me, come with me and take a look. Huaxian took the lead, and more than 20 female protagonists followed behind, wanting to see how beautiful that vixen was. Soon we arrived at room 99 on the second floor. The door was ajar. Huaxian pushed the door open and walked in. Stunned, Tan Ruxin in front of him was wearing a suspender skirt. Looking extremely sexy, her perfect figure made Huaxian's nose bleed. She was too hot. Tan Ruxin was also shocked, because she didn't expect that Huaxian would come to see her with a group of women. Wang Xingyu and the others were also shocked. Yao Hongjing was the first to react. With a bang, he slammed the door shut. Although she felt bad seeing Huaxian find a beautiful wife, she also knew that Huaxian was too outstanding, and they had no right to stop her. It's better to go along with him, at least it won't leave a bad impression. Huaxian reacted and walked over with a smile. My dear wife Ruxin, do you miss me too much? Tan Ruxin said speechless lie. You can come by yourself, why bring your wives along? Do you really want me to embarrass myself? Huaxian said bitterly. It's not my fault. My wives said they wanted to see how you look and whether you are worthy of me. So they came together. You can see that my wives don't exclude you. By the way, my dear Ruxin, how come you suddenly came to your senses? I thought to myself, my favorability score was negative yesterday. But you came to your senses today. Is it just because of my looks? Tan Ruxin said speechless lie. I thought the city lord was my father. He asked me to take you down, saying that you were very good. I didn't expect that a lecherous guy like you would be so good. I have no choice but to let you take advantage of me. Oh my god, your father is actually the city lord. I told you, no matter how handsome I am, you are not any worse. How could you take the initiative to throw yourself into my arms? But my father-in-law has really good vision. He found a good husband for you. Come on, wife, let's do what we should do. Huaxian rubbed his hands and walked over. What do you want to do? Tan Ruxin pretended to say. This situation further stimulated Huaxian. Just pounced on it. Ah, no, please don't. Such a cry made Huaxian's blood boil. Oh my god, honey, you know how to have fun, do you often? Hubby, what are you talking about? I learned it from a book. How about it, hubby, do you like it? I like it. Wife, what have you learned? Use it all. Okay, husband. It depends on whether your body can take it anymore. Then the room was filled with spring. Noon. Tan Ruxin took Huaxian's arm, and they both walked out of the room contentedly. When they reached the corridor on the second floor, Wang Xingyu and the others did not see anything and all looked over. Husband, aren't you going a bit too far? You said before that you had enough wives and wouldn't look for another. And now you've what? Tan Ruxin, Yao Hongjing said. Obviously she had been to the battlefield 5 times and knew Tan Ruxin's identity. Sister Hongjing, why are you jealous? We are good sisters who fought side by side. It's just right that we share a husband we can fight together again. After that, he leaned close to Yao Hongjing's ear and said, Sister Hongjing, my husband is too powerful, I can't handle it. Yao Hongjing's face turned red instantly, and she realized that what Tan Ruxin meant by fighting side by side was actually this. I thought to myself, I didn't realize that you, Tan Ruxin, are so shameless. Sister Hongjing, you seem very familiar with her. What is her identity? Chen Yuanayan asked curiously. Her identity is not simple, she is the city lord's daughter. Tan Ruxin. Isn't the city lord called Shangda? Shangda is my father's nickname. My father's real name is Tan Shangfeng. Tan Ruxin introduced herself. After all, they are all Hu Xian's wives. If they want to live a good life with Hu Xian, unity in the harem is a must. People who have lived for hundreds of years have seen a lot even though they have not experienced it. Anyway, in the genetic world, there are more boys than girls, so it is normal for a man to have several or even dozens of wives. No wonder. At this time, a beautiful spider came over. Sister Zimeyer, long time no see, he greeted from a distance. Zimeyer frowned and said, Shulinger, what do you want to do? Seduce my husband? Shulinger smiled and said, Zimeyer, what do you mean by seducing your husband? Hu Xian is handsome. And there are many women who want to marry him. Besides, he already has so many beautiful women around him, one more won't make a difference. After saying that, he looked at Hu Xian and said, Mr. I am Shulinger from the Spider Clan. You don't mind if I become your wife, right? After saying this, their bodies changed and they turned into two beautiful human beings. The spider's legs are long, and after turning into human legs, they are also extremely long, which is simply perfect. Hu Xian is sure that if it is a contest for beautiful legs, among all his beautiful wives, no one can compare to Shulinger. I was immediately attracted. The key is that the other party is a beauty from another race, which is exciting just thinking about it. Just when Hu Xian was about to agree, a cold and ruthless voice came. Shulinger, have you forgotten our agreement? Chapter 233, Totem of the Alien Heroine. Shulinger looked back with a smile, looking at the young man from the Spider Clan who was walking over. He said, Shu Vanda, I haven't forgotten our agreement. But it's been 100 years, and you haven't kept it. I've waited for you for 100 years and given you 100 years of chances. Is that enough? Now you still can't do it if you meet a better man. I, Shulinger, will naturally be moved. When the spider youth heard this, he became extremely angry. He looked at Hu Xian, and was very angry, thinking that it was Hu Xian's appearance that caused the breakdown of his relationship with Shulinger. He originally wanted to challenge, but then he remembered the pressure Hu Xian unleashed on the city wall. It was too strong, and it felt even more powerful than their leader, the god of war. He lowered his posture and asked, How can you let my Shulinger go and return her to me? Hu Xian spread his hands and said, Brother, it's not that I have to do anything to get her pregnant. Now she likes me and is pursuing me fine, I'll give you a chance. I reject Shulinger's confession. After saying that, he pulled Yao Hongjing and Tan Ruxin beside him and said, Wise, let's go. Wang Xingyu and the others followed Hu Xian away. Shulinger glared at Shu Fende and said, I warn you. Don't come to destroy my marriage again. To tell you the truth, pursuing Hu Xian is the mission given to me by the god of war. Otherwise, why do you think I didn't pursue him before? But am pursuing him now? After saying that, he trotted after Hu Xian. Spider Vanda was stunned. Shulinger caught up with Hu Xian, stood in front of him and said, Hu Xian, I have already confessed my feelings to you. Are you really not going to agree to me? After saying this, she looked very pitiful. Hu Xian was really moved when he saw her perfect long legs. He forced himself to say, You should deal with your other emotional issues first. I've taken care of it all. Shulinger said this and threw herself into Hu Xian's arms, hugging him tightly. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have won the favor of the third female alien, and have started the female protagonist totem program. Currently, there are 3 female protagonist totems of alien races and the combat power is increased by 150. Each additional female protagonist totem of alien race that is not repeated will increase the combat power by 50. Hearing the system's prompt, Hu Xian was stunned with shock. The totem of the alien heroine actually increased the combat power so terrifyingly. Isn't this tempting him to find a foreign beauty to marry? Is the system also very fickle? However, the 50 combat power bonus of this alien heroine is too tempting. Okay, I'll accept you, but let me be clear, I have a lot of wives, so you have to be prepared. Don't worry, husband, I'll be satisfied as long as I can see you every day. Shulinger said every day. Zimeyer said speechless lie. And you still say you are not seducing our husband. Sister Zimeyer, we are a family now, so please don't let any Ijong cause trouble for your husband. Hearing this, Hu Xian said, My wife Linger is right. What I hate most is chaos in the harem. They are all my wives. Since they have chosen to follow me, they should not cause trouble for me. Don't worry, no matter how many wives I have around me, I will never show favoritism to any of you. Although he said this, he was actually thinking about hooking up with other beauties from other races. After all, a hookup would increase one's combat power by 50. If we find dozens or hundreds of them, the increase would be terrifying. When I thought about it, I couldn't help but smile. Abi, you are so happy to have found a beautiful spider from another race. Huaxian smiled and said, my dear wives, I am so happy. Let's go find a kitchen and I will cook for you myself. Wow, husband, is that true? I haven't eaten the food you cooked for a long time. I'm drooling. Judy said excitedly. Of course it's true. How could I lie to you? Let's go. Yao Hongjing and the others, who had never eaten Huaxian's cooking, were all curious. Yuan Nian, Xingyu, are the meals your husband cooks delicious? Tanruxin asked curiously. Yes, it's super delicious. My husband is not only a super hacker, a super genetic warrior, a super doctor, but also a super chef. After hearing this, those who had never eaten Huaxian's cooking became extremely excited. Soon they arrived at the restaurant, and after a soldier knew Huaxian's purpose, he said, we have a private kitchen here, you just need to go to the kitchen to get the ingredients and cook it yourself. So where is the private kitchen? Very asked excitedly. You guys come with me. The soldier led them towards the private kitchen. Along the way, we met many men and women who were returning with food. After a while, type in a hall. It's a very big one. With many kitchens and bathrooms looking around, you can see many people cooking. Huaxian found that most of them were young couples. Seeing a group of beauties coming, the people in the kitchen looked over curiously. I recognized Huaxian at the first sight. It's him, so handsome. This is the 4-person kitchen, opposite is the private dining room. You can eat there once the food is ready. The soldier came and opened the door after he finished speaking. Huaxian said to everyone, what are you standing there for? Go prepare the ingredients, whatever you want to eat. I'll let you eat as much as you want today. Yeah. My husband is the best, Judy shouted excitedly. Take the lead and rush to the cafeteria on this floor. The others followed happily. Huaxian, can you add me online? One of the girls bravely walked over and said. Good. Huaxian told the other party the communication. Seeing this, the other beauties also gathered their courage and gathered around. My dear, I want to add your contact too. And me? Good. Huaxian gave them his contact information. Fortunately, there are not many. I chose a pretty good kitchen and bathroom and prepared it. After a while, Balyu and the others came back with big and small bags. Abi, I leave it to you. Okay, just watch from the sidelines and see what I do next. Huaxian's superb cooking skills allow him to cook with ease. He doesn't even need to think about how to cook it or how much seasoning to use. Very naturally, delicious dishes are made like flowing water. It seems that cooking is as simple as eating for him. No obstacles. The aroma permeates the entire private kitchen. Wow, it smells so good, so good. I have never smelled such delicious food before. Me too. The people in the private kitchen were drooling all over the floor. Not to mention them, even Huang Xingyu and the others were swallowing their saliva constantly. Fortunately, the super high-tech range hood blows away all the fumes, and only some residual fragrance can be smelled in the private kitchen. Otherwise, even a meal might cause panic. At this time, a strange-looking woman, dragging a strange rat-like tail, showing off non-stop, came to the private kitchen, and he pushed the other heroines away and showed off his nose to the delicious food prepared by Huaxian. Wow, there are so many delicious foods. Fortunately, I have a good nose, otherwise I wouldn't be able to eat them. He screamed and was about to start eating. Chapter 234. Deputy Commander. Yao Hongjing said coldly, my foreign friend. You seem very rude. The powerful aura also locked her down. The beauty finally reacted. Looking around, why are there so many people? I was a little flustered and squatted down subconsciously. Murong Fer said speechless lie, you pushed all of us away. And you didn't even know there were so many people? At this time Zemeyer said, she is from the rat tribe. She has a very sensitive nose and is very greedy. Her weakness is that she is timid. I was wondering why she looked so mousy. It turns out she evolved from a mouse, said Chen Yuanian. The rat tribe member only noticed Huaxian at this time, and said in surprise and excitement, it's you, your cooking smells so good. You are so perfect. Then, like a little fangler, she ran to Huaxian and asked curiously, Huaxian, can I follow you, like them, is that okay? Although he was asking, his tone was very self-deprecating. Because the rat people can't change their bad habits of stealing, other tribes don't like them very much. Thinking of her family's weakness, she quickly said, don't worry, I have never stolen anything. Really? Otilia said, you said you never stole anything. But if we hadn't stopped you just now, you would have eaten it all. No, I didn't mean to eat it secretly it's just that the food he cooked was so delicious that I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself at all. After saying that, he looked at Hu Xin, plucked up the courage to grab Hu Xin's arm and shook it, saying, "Okay, let me follow you, I'm very powerful, I can find all kinds of rare treasures with my nose. I'm the only one in our rat tribe who has this ability." Hearing this, Biayu and the others were shocked. This special ability is really powerful. They all looked at Hu Xin. Diao Hongjing considered it as a long-term strategy, and knew that this rat tribe member was a talent. So she said, "Hubby, just accept her, one more won't make any difference anyway." Others also noticed that Yao Hongjing was impressed by the talent of this rat man. Hu Xin was very happy in his heart, but said, "Okay. Then I'll accept her reluctantly." "Yeah, thank you. Can I have these delicious foods now?" "Not now, let's do it together when I'm done." "Oh, by the way, what's your name?" "My name is Red Elf. Which means I'm very smart." After receiving the Red Elf, Hu Xin was overjoyed that his combat power increased by 200. Nearly another hour passed before all the dishes were ready. Everyone carried their delicious dishes to the restaurant across the street and put several tables together to form a big table. Because the table was too big and there were too many dishes, everyone had to stand and walk while eating. "Wow, delicious. So delicious," the mouse elf screamed after eating. Biayu and the others were also extremely shocked. They didn't expect that their husbands had such great cooking skills. The other people around them smelled the delicious food and saw how happily they were eating. And they were extremely envious. "Can I have a little bit?" A young girl came over and asked with drooling eyes. "Can?" The girl was so excited that she picked up the food with chopsticks, took a bite, and couldn't stop eating. "Wow, it's delicious. I've never eaten anything so delicious." Without knowing anyone, I just joined the group eating and drinking. "Can we have something to eat too?" A few more people came over, both men and women. "Sorry. There are so many of us and it's not enough food," Hu Xin refused directly. "I thought to myself, I cook and there is not enough food for my own wife. So how can I give it to you men? I am probably overthinking it." The meal lasted an hour. Everyone, no matter how ladylike and image conscious they were, had a big belly and found a chair to lie down on. Hu Xin saw them like this and smiled bitterly. Fortunately, he didn't have to clean up the scene himself. "You guys rest here. I'll go out for a walk." "Okay, husband." Everyone was too full to move. Hu Xin came outside alone. With a trillion-level appearance, she is an extremely dazzling scenery wherever she goes. No matter men or women, old or young, they couldn't help but stare at Hu Xin intently. It's comfortable and pleasing to the eyes. "Handsome guy, do you mind having more wives?" A beautiful human beauty came over and said very boldly. Hu Xin shook his head and said, "I mind." After saying that, he walked away. The beauty said loudly, "Although I am over 300 years old, I am still a complete body handsome man. Are you really not going to consider it?" I thought to myself, with my beauty and perfect body, countless people would be attracted to me, and I don't believe that you would remain indifferent. After all, every woman only has one perfect body. Hu Xin ignored him and left without looking back. "Damn it," the beauty stomped her feet in anger. Hu Xin walked to the edge of the deck and looked down at the ground, which was dominated by darkness. The sky was also getting darker and darker, as if it was about to get dark. At this time, a young man came up to him and said, as if talking to himself or to Hu Xin, "This disaster is more horrible than any other before. They can't wait any longer." Hu Xin looked back at him and said, "I can't wait any longer." The young man was stunned for a moment, then laughed and said, "You brought so many wives to the battlefield. Aren't you afraid that something might happen to them?" Being afraid doesn't mean you can escape. Only by experiencing destruction can you truly grow. Disasters are not scary. What is scary is the fear of disasters. What a great saying. Disasters are not to be feared, but to be afraid of them. Are you interested in serving as Deputy Commander-in-Chief? Hu Xin looked at the other party again. "Am I qualified?" "You underestimate your personal charm and the strength you have shown. No one dares to say that you are not qualified. It all depends on whether you are willing or not." It turns out that this guy is the Commander-in-Chief of Hu Xin's army. Of course, no one who can go to the battlefield is over 500 years old. I want to know, what are the benefits of being the deputy commander? There are many advantages. I can direct everyone's battle direction without being told what to do by others. If you are afraid of death, you can hide in the back and take advantage of the situation. If you are defeated, you can escape at the first opportunity. That sounds good, so I'll take on the role of deputy commander-in-chief. The young man nodded and said, "I hope you can bring all your wives back with you." Of course. Hu Xin is full of confidence. The guy turned on the communicator, took a photo of Hu Xin, posted it on all the screens on the spacecraft. and said, "Comrade Huaxian, I think everyone is familiar with him. From now on, he is the deputy commander-in-chief of our army." Suddenly more than 20 million people were shocked. Then came envy. Of course, there are some who are not convinced. But not many. After all, Huaxian has demonstrated sufficient strength and financial resources. I don't accept it. A voice came from far away, followed by a dark shadow rushing over. Chapter 235, the fifth line of defense collapses. A burly lion tribe member. With bare chest, revealing his shiny black muscles wearing these shorts. The muscles on his thighs are also very eye-catching. And his face is like a lion. This is the Lion Clan. There is a terrifying murderous aura emanating from his body, which shows that he has killed countless people and is not a good person. "Why are you dissatisfied?" the young man asked. "He is just a pretty boy. How can he be qualified to be the deputy commander-in-chief? I am the most suitable person to be the deputy commander-in-chief," the lion man said arrogantly. The young man looked at Huaxian and said, "As the deputy commander, you can do whatever you want." Huaxian said calmly, "I don't bother talking nonsense about problems that can be solved with fists." After he finished speaking, he disappeared from the spot in an instant. 23 They are just level 3 evolved gene warriors, and they don't even need to use any divine power. You overestimate your own abilities. Do you think that just because you have such a strong aura, you are that powerful? You may be able to scare other people, but you are not good enough in front of me. The lion man looked as if to see through you and that your aura was not something you generated yourself, and punched Huaxian fiercely. The blackened muscles exploded with strength to the extreme. Boom! There was a loud bang, like thunder, which spread far away. Countless soldiers, not knowing what was going on, all rushed out. And I saw Huaxian retreating again and again. Looking at the lion man again. He did not retreat a single step and said distaphonially, "I say, a strong aura does not mean strong strength. You are just pretending today. We'll tear off your disguise." The lion man took the initiative to rush towards Huaxian. More and more people came to the deck, including Yao Hongjing and others. Each of them had a big belly, which surprised the people who saw them. Huaxian also realized that this guy really had some skills. The power unleashed by the 23rd level of evolutionary gene realm is infinitely close to that of the 24th level. And he was only level 21. The reason he didn't suffer a miserable defeat with this punch was because of the totem of the alien heroine, which increased his combat power by 200. Even so, we are still at a disadvantage. Looking at the lion man rushing towards him, Huaxian was not afraid because he discovered the opponent's biggest weakness, his slow speed. "Get down," the lion man shouted and punched hard. Huaxian burst out with extreme speed, avoided the attack, came to the lion man and punched him. The lion man's expression changed drastically, and he punched with his left hand to block. Bang! He staggered back 5 steps. But before he could stand firm, he felt danger coming from behind. He was angry with himself and turned around to defend himself. But he couldn't keep up with the speed and was hit again. Stumbling forward. The danger came again from the left side. But he was still beaten because he couldn't keep up with the speed. "Damn it, you damned human, if you dare, come and fight me head on." A lion man roared angrily. Huaxian stopped attacking, stood not far away, and said coldly, "Do you think I'm stupid to give up my advantage and fight you head on? Nonsense. If you are a man, you will fight me head on." Huaxian shook his head and said, "Did you go to the battlefield and tell the enemy to give up your advantages, and use your disadvantage to fight me head on?" Hearing this, many people burst into laughter. The lion man's face looked extremely ugly. "Human, do you really think I have no way to deal with you?" Roar! With the lion's roar, his body suddenly changed. The lion man lay on the ground, and in 10 seconds he was completely transformed into a lion. After transforming into a lion, its evolutionary G realm actually reached level 24, emitting terrifying power. The lion people are so strong. Roar! The lion man roared, burst into action, and rushed towards Huaxian. Huaxian said coldly, "Are you serious? Then we'll see if your skin is as strong as the sword in my hand." A weapon is a sharp sword in hand, which can kill the opponent with one blow. The lion man was confident in his sharp claws and attacked Huaxian fiercely. Uff! A result was that all his sharp claws were cut off by Huaxian's sword. The sharp sword thrust forward and stabbed fiercely into his head. The lion man had no time to dodge. No, according to the king's performance. A roar was heard. Everyone was stunned by the shock of the scene before them. The lion man who had recovered his original form and devolved his genetic realm to level 24 was actually easily defeated by Huaxian holding a sharp sword. Hey, weapons advantage. This guy's sword looks ordinary and has no attribute damage. But it is extremely sharp and suppresses the lion man. It's easy for you to say, but if I give you the sword, can you suppress the lion man? Someone said. Hearing this, the guy fell silent. Huaxian put away his sword and dodged. The lion man fell to the ground, his hair soaked with cold sweat. The young man asked, "Now you think he is not qualified to be the deputy commander?" And he looked at the other people in the crowd and said, "From now on, Huaxian is the deputy commander-in-chief of our army. Anyone who is dissatisfied can challenge him. It is their own responsibility to decide their life or death. If you say that life and death are your own responsibility, then you can just kill him." But no one dared to stand up. At this time, a desperate voice came from far away. "Run, everyone, run! Aliens, extraterrestrial creatures, and extraterrestrial creatures have joined forces to break through our fifth line of defense. Help me, I don't want to die. Whoever saves me, I will give him 10 billion gold coins. Oh, don't kill me, please don't kill me. I will warm your bed and give birth to a baby for you. I am unwilling to die." All kinds of miserable and desperate screams came from afar. The young man exclaimed upon seeing this, "Oh no," they collapsed. "All troops, listen up, prepare for battle, and join the battle at any time." Everyone became nervous. Yao Hongjing and the others also quickly used their genetic power to consume the food. Everyone came to the other side of the spacecraft and could see in the distance that black dust was covering the sky and countless huge creatures were charging towards them. Like a doomsday catastrophe. Those with good eyesight saw countless people running, roaring, and begging for mercy in despair in the dust. However, the enemy did not give them any chance to survive, and killed them cruelly as long as they were spoken of. They would be destroyed. "Look, our support troops are here. We are saved, let's run." Someone saw the super spaceship and finally saw the dawn of survival and hope and despair. "This is really our support army, come on, everyone. Run, the resource army is coming." Seeing hope, countless people worked hard and used all their strength to escape. Just to survive. Some people were desperate, the enemy is too strong. And the resource army will just die. For such people, destruction awaits them. On the spaceship, everyone finally saw those alien races. Extraterrestrial creatures, and alien creatures. They were extremely tall, powerful, and ferocious. There are also short ones, but they are obscured by the dust. So all we can see are the tall ones. Oh my god, is that an alien race or an alien creature? It's too big, isn't it? I am 3 meters tall and look like a child in front of it. Oh my god, what kind of creature is that? It has so many tentacles. Every time its wings, several people are killed. I think and spray poison. People who are wrapped in the poisonous mist will never escape. Chapter 236, Fighting. Looking at the brutal scene, countless people were frightened before the battle even started. Their faces were pale, and some were shaking. "Commander-in-Chief, the enemy is too strong. Do we really have to fight?" Someone asked in horror. "If it weren't for the Commander-in-Chief suppressing them, they would have all fled. We have no choice but to fight. Behind us is the final barrier, the central city. Once it is breached, it will be a disaster for our entire continent. For the sake of the mainland, for the sake of our relatives and clansmen behind us, we cannot retreat." Huaxian was also shocked. He didn't expect that alien races, extraterrestrial creatures, and alien creatures were so fierce. Look, in the air. There were also dense swarms of alien creatures coming from the sky. "We are fighting them again," the Commander-in-Chief said. "The deeper into the battlefield we go, the stronger the Space Force will be. Therefore, here, those who are below the 20th level of evolutionary gene realm cannot fly. Pass my order, genetic warriors above level 20, prepare for air combat. The evolved gene warriors who can reach level 20 or above within 500 years are all geniuses among monsters. Their minds are more resolute, so when facing strong enemies, they are not afraid except frowning. Abi, we're going to fight," Izu and the others said firmly. Huaxian nodded and asked, "Are you afraid?" "Abi, we are not afraid," Huang Qingyu and the others spoke in unison, their eyes determined. Seeing the enemy getting closer and closer, countless people trembled with fear and had no desire to fight at all. System, share primary all-around combat skills with all heroines. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have successfully used the female host's authority to share the primary all-round combat skills without any consumption. There was no consumption at all, which made Huaxian happy. "Honey, what is that?" Everyone felt the announcement of the elementary all-around combat skills and looked at Huaxian. Even BAU. "I didn't expect there were such terrifying fighting skills. They are so sophisticated. Don't be surprised, you are all my wives. You have been recognized by the gods above me. This is the fighting technique I begged for you. Fight." "Abi, with this fighting skill, I'm not afraid of anything," Wurong Feir said firmly. "The same goes for others. I thought to myself, we are people recognized by God." Huaxian nodded and shouted, "Tianlong Nation, all soldiers in the Jilyuti province, listen to my orders. Exist. Aki's girls' voices and Deng Zhongyi's voice were completely drowned out. Gene warriors above level 20, fight the air enemies for me. Yeah. Except for Deng finally, the others are at least level 20 Gene warriors. Even Huang Xingyu and the others. There's nothing they can do about it. It's Huaxian who is helping them cheat. Deng Zhongyi was the only one left standing there. Looking miserable. Facing the stares of nearby friendly forces. I felt extremely embarrassed. Those with cultivation below level 20. Fight against the enemies on the ground and kill them. Deng Zhongyi, feeling humiliated, jumped off the spaceship alone, yelling and rushing towards the enemy. This scene shocked the whole audience. Kill them. A group of women dare to fight against the strong, and one person dares to kill the strong enemy. We are not cowards. Kill them. Kill him. Ice boundless people's blood was aroused. Their eyes turned red. Those above level 20 rushed into the sky, and those below level 20 jumped off the spaceship and rushed towards the powerful enemy. Those defenders who were being chased by the enemy were shocked when they saw Deng Zhongyi rushing towards them regardless of everything. I even suspected that he had accidentally fallen off the spaceship. When they saw countless friendly soldiers falling off the spaceship regardless of their own safety, they were shocked. They knew that these friendly forces had just arrived to provide support. At the meeting, they were so frightened by the sight of such a powerful enemy that they trembled with fear, and some even peed their pants. But now, they are so crazy. At this time Huaxian flew into the sky and announced loudly, I declare that anyone who kills an enemy will be rewarded with a minimum will be 100 gold coins and a maximum of 100 million gold coins. Remember, it is a reward, and the spoils belong to you. Zhang Luxian and her group, who were the first to attack, have already started fighting with powerful enemies. They rely on basic all-round combat skills, with amazing combat power, killing enemies with fear. Those who were originally afraid of the powerful became even more confident when they saw a group of women fighting against strong enemies with ease. Roar, roar, roar. Aliens, extraterrestrial creatures. Extraterrestrial creatures. I didn't expect that the enemies I encountered this time were so fearless of death and fought desperately like crazy. They suffered heavy casualties and it was difficult to advance. So they all roared in anger. Even Bau joined the battle. But her identity was hidden and no one could recognize her. While everyone was fighting, they did not forget to collect genetic blood. The genetic blood must be collected within a few minutes of killing the enemy. Otherwise it will be useless once the blood coagulates. System, can you help collect genetic blood? Huaxian was so distressed when he saw countless genetic blood being wasted that he bled. Ding, quest item, unable to help collect. Huaxian was speechless. It seemed that 1,000 tons of genetic blood was not so easy to collect. Huaxian also rushed out to kill himself. The young commander-in-chief, Jin Zhenchuan, looked at Huaxian charging forward and gave a bitter smile. He thought it would be a waste of talent if this guy wasn't to be a commander. After Huaxian joined the battlefield, it was doomsday for the enemies in the air. The totems of the 4 alien heroines increase the combat power by 200. Then cooperate with the heroines. Each heroine increases the combat power by 10. 30 heroines will increase the combat power by 300. Although he did not use his god-level power, Huaxian's all attributes exploded, including his special physical gene. It can be said that apart from the god-level power, he has already burst out with all his strength. With his terrifying fighting power, every enemy was killed with one move. No matter you are a huge extraterritorial creature, a relatively small alien creature, or an incomparable alien race, when you meet Huaxian, no matter how strong or weak you are no match for him with one sword. Such a scene was like a massacre. Huaxian also did not forget the mobile phone gene blood. He discovered that the so-called genetic blood was not all the blood in the enemy's body, but the blood in something similar to the human Diantian. This blood is full of genetic power. In this way, collecting genetic blood becomes less troublesome. Damn, how can this human be so strong? In the distance, a monster that did not participate in the battle looked at Huaxian, who was constantly killing, and actually spoke in human language and started cursing. The human population is so huge, it's normal to have one or two extremely powerful ones. Who of you will deal with him? The leader was actually an alien creature. He said lightly, I'll go. The guy who was cursing couldn't wait any longer. His body immediately enlarged several times like a small mountain, and rushed towards Huaxian. Chapter 237, Kill with One Sword. Seeing that powerful enemy coming, he exuded an aura of destruction. Everyone was shocked. Huaxian discovered that this guy was coming for him. In order to boost morale, he decided to kill it with one sword. System, block 10 points of divine power for me. Ding! The host has been shielded from the auras of 10 points of divine power. Shielding consumes 100,000 reinforcement points per second. In order to kill with one blow, Huaxian mobilized 10 points of divine power, which showed that he had great respect for this guy. The main reason is that this guy is too huge and exudes an aura of destruction, which is really shocking. Countless people could see that this guy was going to deal with Huaxian. They were also paying attention to Huaxian. If he lost, they would have no desire to fight this monster. Only victory can bring hope. The monster approached Huaxian, humble, insignificant, incompetent human, go to hell. The super huge fist, which was bigger than Huaxian, punched Huaxian. Hubby, be careful, Yao Hongjing and the others said in unison when they saw this scene. And they were all extremely worried. Step into the air. With his extreme agility, the air step, and the speed boost from divine power, Huaxian's speed increased by several levels. It was as if it disappeared under the monster's fist in an instant. And the next moment, it appeared above the monster's head. Die. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the power of God fused with the attribute power and special genetic power and burst out, slashing at the monster's head with a sword. Arotaman, be careful. In the distance, the big guy's companion saw this scene and screamed. The big guy sensed the danger and became extremely panicked. He burst out all his genetic strength and gathered it in his head in an attempt to defend against the attack. In fact, its own defense is extremely terrifying. If the genetic power of the whole body is used to enhance the defense, it will be raised to a higher level. Even so, he still felt uneasy. Under the attention of the whole audience, Tiu, the sword blessed by divine power, was extremely sharp and could cut through iron like mud. With one sword, it cut off the huge head of the big guy. A 10-meter sword was also extremely sharp, cutting half of the monster's body in half. The monster's genetic blood seemed to leave and actually wanted to escape. Huaxian quickly collected them. I was overjoyed. A big guy is a big guy. His genetic blood weighs 10 tons. No wonder. This guy burst out with an aura of destruction. Both the enemy and our team were stunned by Huaxian's attack. They all looked in disbelief. How could this happen? How could a warrior from our outer realm be killed by a tiny human with just one sword? Gradually, the aliens, extraterrestrial creatures, and extraterrestrial creatures were all in an uproar. Yeah, we won. On the human coalition side, regardless of which race, everyone was extremely excited. Looking at Huaxian, his eyes were full of admiration, as if he was the savior. Huaxian collected the genetic blood and ordered loudly, Kill, fight alongside our husbands. Wang Xingyu and the others were filled with pride, and their fighting spirit reached its peak. Morale is high and the desire to fight is strong. On the spaceship, Jin Zhenxuan, who had not yet taken action, was also stunned by Huaxian's sword. Facing that monster, he failed to kill me in a short period of time, but Huaxian did it with just one sword. Who is this guy? The trend of the battlefield changed completely all of a sudden. The three enemy coalition forces were extremely ferocious and unstoppable. Now they are being suppressed by the human coalition forces. Marshal, what should we do? The senior enemy troops all looked at the alien commander. Retreat. I was stunned when I heard these two words. They thought the marshal would personally take action to kill this human. But they didn't expect him to retreat. Retreat. After this order was issued, the enemy army was defeated like a torrent. Kill them. The enemies kill them for the reward. Kill. The human coalition is going crazy in their eyes. The three major alien coalitions are just points and gold coins. Everyone was like a chicken with its blood boiling. Bloodshot. Huaxian stood in Midra, looking at the marshal in the distance who had not yet retreated. The two of them looked at each other from a distance of hundreds of miles. And after the evolutionary genetic modification, they could see each other clearly. At this time, the general turned and left. Victory! We won! Jin Zhenxuan shouted loudly at this time, seized the opportunity to win and retake the fifth line of defense. He also personally led the charge and killed them. When passing by Huaxian, he said, "If I were a woman, I would fall in love with you." Huaxian touched his nose, speechless, lie and chased after him. Far away. Those hypotheses that were hunted down in the beginning all fell into a daze and couldn't recover for a long time. How could this group of resource troops be so strong? Someone muttered. The person next to him said, "It's not that they are so strong. It's that guy is too strong. He killed a super high-ranking enemy with just one sword. If we had such a master in charge, we wouldn't have been defeated so miserably." On the spaceship, someone transmitted the video recording of Huaxian giving the order to start the attack back to the central city. The general, after seeing this, immediately went to find the city lord himself. "City lord, victory news, great victory news. The city lord has received the news that the fifth line of defense has collapsed. He is in a very bad mood and is already waiting for the arrival of a powerful enemy." At this time, a general suddenly shouted victory news. and was furious. The three major alien tribes have come to attack us. What victory news do you have? The general said excitedly. City Lord, it was the supporting army. They encountered the defeated friendly army and the powerful enemy. But under the leadership of Huaxian, they fought bravely. City Lord, come and see for yourself. He was so excited that he actually pulled the City Lord away. Arriving at the top-secret confidential room, the City Lord watched the video recording on the screen. Since Huaxian gave the order, none of the women around him, including his daughter, showed any fear and rushed towards the powerful enemy in the air regardless of the consequences. The latter scene even made them want to laugh. There was only Deng Zhongyi there. And after receiving Huaxian's order, he still did not show any fear. With a loud roar, he jumped off the spaceship alone, regardless of everything, and rushed towards the powerful enemy. This scene made everyone in the confidential room admire it immensely. Whose family does this guy belong to? Remember him and find out all the information about him. The City Lord gave the order immediately. Also, investigate Huaxian and all the women around him thoroughly. Yes. Afterwards, Huaxian was seen holding a sharp sword. Like a peerless warrior, killing everyone in his way and having no rivals. This guy seems to be collecting genetic blood while killing enemies. He's quite leisurely, the City Lord said easily. Just because this outstanding young man is now his son-in-law. Apparently the City Lord received the news that his daughter had captured Huaxian. At this time, an enemy general came out. His size, like a small mountain, made everyone in front of the video nervous. Chapter 238. Retaking the fifth front. Seeing the powerful enemy rushing towards Huaxian, the City Lord couldn't help but sweat on his palms. Although they knew the final result would be victory, they were familiar with that powerful enemy and knew how terrifying he was. So they were subconsciously nervous. When they saw Huaxian kill the guy with one sword, they were all stunned in front of the screen, just like soldiers on the battlefield. It's totally incredible. After a while, the general asked, City Lord, what realm is this guy at? The City Lord shook his head and said, I don't know. Apart from that young man, I can't see through the realm of the others around him. However, they are all able to fly and fight deep into the battlefield. So they are at least level 20 evolutionary gene warriors. How terrifying. It seems that except for that young man, everyone else around this guy is terrifyingly strong. Those are all his wives. This guy is interesting. At this time, a person from the archives department came quickly. City Lord, we have already found out the information about that young man. Please take a look. The City Lord grabbed the information and looked through it. Gilyuti Province, Skyhawk City. Deng family, the eldest son Deng Zhongyi. A level 17 evolutionary gene warrior. The head of the family is a weapon family. Not bad. Pass on my order from now on. All weapons and equipment purchased by the base will be purchased from the Deng family in Tianying City, Gilyuti Province. At this time, another archivist also came. City Lord, the information of other people has also been obtained. Everyone watched with curiosity. This side of the battlefield, the soldiers were in high spirits, and the pursuing enemy troops were terrified. They never thought that they, who were so powerful, would be killed like this by the tiny human coalition. How could they know that in the eyes of the human coalition soldiers, they were moving treasures? 3 hours passed. Finally arrived at the 5th defensive line. What surprised Huaxian was that there was actually a city here. Although it was not as tall as the central city with walls reaching into the clouds, it was also very huge. However, after the war, this place has become a ruin. Seeing that the 5th defensive line had been recaptured, the soldiers were extremely exhausted. Although they were still chasing hard because of the reward, they had already reached their limit. Jin Zhenjuan ordered, all troops stop chasing and defend the 5th front. Only then did everyone stop. Although they were eager to fight, they also understood that if the strong did not follow them, they would be killed if they rushed forward. Young people from all countries and ethnic groups who are injured or killed must report it in a timely manner, and the number of people will be counted and exchanged for points. Huaxian also flew into the sky and said loudly, all soldiers, after exchanging points, in order to avoid trouble, the first level points are equal to 10. 0 gold coins. My gold coin account is, everyone add this account. I will synchronize with the points system and automatically distribute the gold coin rewards for this battle in batches according to the points. As an exception, you can come directly to me or my wife to collect your genetic blood. I will buy it back at 5 times the market price. Everyone, who were originally physically and mentally exhausted, became energized when they heard that they could redeem the heads for rewards. They quickly took out the heads they had collected and redeemed them for rewards. At this time, after the super spaceship arrived and landed, the military medical staff rushed out to rescue the wounded. They will be transported on a spaceship and transferred to the central city to recuperate. Honey, let's go redeem points too, Huang Xingyu said excitedly. Others are looking forward to it too. Huang Xian said with a smile. In this battle, his wives performed very well except for a few who were slightly injured, the others were intact. Moreover, judging by how happy they are, they probably have a lot of spoils. Deng Zhongyi said. Mother-in-law, I'll go too. Wait a minute, it was Jin Zhenxuan who shouted. Deng Zhongyi stopped curiously and asked, Commander-in-Chief, is there any problem? The Commander-in-Chief said. The higher-ups have found out that you have been promoted to a war zone commander. There is also good news, all future weapons and equipment in the war zone will be purchased from your Deng family. Really? Deng Zhongyi asked in disbelief. This is because the pressure on the production and sales of weapons and equipment is becoming increasingly huge. And many forces want to get a piece of the pie. Of course it's true. This is an order from the city lord himself in the central city. The city lord is the king, so don't worry. That's great. Go ahead and redeem your points. Commander-in-Chief and brother-in-law, I'll be leaving first. Deng Zhongyi left excitedly, feeling that it was all worth it. Jin Zhenxuan looked at Huang Xian and said, let's have a drink together. Okay, have a drink. The Deng family in Tianying City. Master, what should we do? All our customers have been snatched away at a loss. How can we survive without customers? Xiuu complained. Deng Qiaolong was also extremely distressed. What can we do? These damn guys have joined forces to put our Deng family to death. It's over, the Deng family is going to be destroyed in my hands. I feel so sorry for my ancestors. At this time, a master came running over in a panic. Master, it's bad. The major families headed by the Yang family are here. What are they here for? Deng Qiaolong asked angrily. Patriarch Deng, of course we are here to help you. With loud laughter, a fat and big-eared middle-aged man walked in. There were a few people following behind the house, and each of them had bad intentions. Yang Jianfeng, my Deng family has not offended you, so why are you pushing my Deng family into a desperate situation? Deng Qiaolong asked angrily. Patriarch Deng, that's wrong. You see, your Deng family's business is getting worse and worse. Sooner or later, it will go bankrupt. I'm giving you a chance. For 1 trillion gold coins, I'll buy all the factories of your Deng family. With this trillion gold coins, it will be enough for you to support yourself in your old age. Starting a small business and supporting your family is very suitable for you. That's it, Patriarch Deng, Patriarch Yang, all this is for your own good. Please don't be ungrateful. A Patriarch Deng, give Patriarch Yang an answer. Deng Qiaolong was furious and roared, get out of here. Even if my Deng family factory is abandoned, I will never sell it to you. Deng Qiaolong, don't be ungrateful. At this time, Deng Qiaolong's call rang. He was in no mood to answer. It was Xiau who pulled over to check, seeing that it was an unfamiliar number. She didn't feel like answering it and hung up directly. After a while, she called again. Xiau answered the call impatiently and said angrily, You are. I was shocked to see that he was wearing a military uniform with 10 stars on it. Everyone present was stunned. 10-star god of war? The other party said, You are the Deng family, right? I am Tan Shangfeng, the mayor of the city at the center of the battlefield. Deng Qiaolong reacted when he heard the voice and immediately took the communicator and said, We are the Deng family. I am Deng Qiaolong, the head of the Deng family. Well, that's good. It's like this your son-in-law, son, and daughter have performed very well on the battlefield. As a reward, our central city has decided that all weapons and equipment will be purchased by your Deng family in the future. Chapter 239, is this considered a complete victory? What? Everyone was stunned. Yang Jianfeng and the others were even more shocked and stunned. Patriarch Deng, do you think there is any problem? Asked Tan Shangfeng. Deng Qiaolong reacted and said excitedly, No problem. Absolutely no problem. My Deng family will definitely ensure that we build the best weapons and equipment for the battlefield. Well, that's fine if there's nothing else. I'll hang up first. Wait, City Lord, I want to ask, what is the situation of my son, daughter, and son-in-law on the battlefield? He had no idea that his son and daughter had followed Huang Xian to the battlefield. They are very good, especially your son-in-law on the first day of the battle. He achieved first-class military merit and is now the deputy commander-in-chief of the battlefield. Your son Deng Zhongyi is a 1-star general, and your daughter is a 2-star general. They are all very good. Okay, then I'll hang up. Tan Shangfeng has hung up the phone. Everyone around Deng Qiaolong was stunned. The clan, or in the terrifying battlefield, actually had 3 high-ranking members, 2 generals and a deputy commander-in-chief with first-class merit. It's terrifying. Xieu asked in disbelief, Is my husband real? Deng Qiaolong reacted and said with great joy, Wife, it must be true. Do you know who your son-in-law is? As expected, our children will have a bright future with him. Yang Jianfeng and the others reacted. Congratulations. Patriarch Deng, from now on, your Deng family will be very successful. One person congratulated enthusiastically. That's right. Their Deng family is going to be promoted soon. I'm so envious. Ang Qiaolong looked at Yang Jianfeng, who had an unpleasant expression on his face, and said, Patriarch Yang, do you still want to acquire my Deng family's assets? Yang Jianfeng said angrily, Patriarch Deng, don't be happy too soon. No matter how powerful your son, daughter, and son-in-law are, they have to survive the battlefield. Deng Qiaolong smiled and said, you don't have to worry about that, show him out. Yang Jianfeng and his friends didn't dare to stay and left in disgrace. Even if someone wants to curry favor, they know that this is not the time. Honey, our Deng family is finally going to take off. When our sons come back, they will at least be treated like gods of war. Right? Deng Qiaolong said. Who knows, maybe if they make it to the top 3, they will be directly noticed by the alliance. Ah. Hearing this, Xiaoyu was stunned. Ang Qiaolong was looking forward to it very much. This side of the battlefield. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 370 trillion gold coins within 24 hours and obtained 10 Zerisai level strengthening pills. Ding, new mission. Completed within 24 hours and spend 380 trillion gold coins. Failure will result in permanent paralysis of the limbs. Complete 5 and you will be rewarded with 10,000 primary strengthening pills. Wu Xian quickly checked and found that 1/10 of the gold coin rewards had already been distributed. At this time, a soldier from the statistics department arrived. Commander-in-Chief, Deputy Commander-in-Chief, according to the statistics, 3.8 million of our men died in this battle, 4.2 million of them were seriously injured and had to retreat from the battlefield to recover, leaving 18 million men with combat capability. Hearing this data, Jin Zhenxuan nodded and said, yes, this battle is a perfect victory for us. Wu Xian frowned and asked, 3.8 million dead, 4.2 million seriously injured. Or a perfect victory? Jin Zhenxuan said bitterly, the enemy is too strong. In the past, in such a large-scale battle, we could not even imagine victory. If we repelled the enemy, the casualties would exceed 2/3. This time, under your leadership, we really won a complete victory. Wu Xian felt relieved when he thought about how powerful the enemy was. After all, not everyone had a system like him. Come. Have a drink. About an hour later, people from the statistics department arrived again. Commander-in-Chief, Deputy Commander-in-Chief, the enemy's death count has been released. This time, we killed a total of 1.6 million enemies. What? Upon hearing this data, Jin Zhenxuan was extremely shocked. His face full of disbelief. This data had never appeared before. The human coalition has 3.2 million soldiers, while the enemy has 1.6 million soldiers, which is a ratio of 21. So shocking. You know, even the weakest enemy has the strength to fight 1 against 2. And the strongest one can fight 10 or even 20 against 1. A human coalition was able to achieve a 21 ratio, which was definitely a perfect victory. Abi, have you guys made up after drinking? Yao, Hong Jing and the others all arrived happily. Abi, have you redeemed your points? The exchange has been completed long ago. If there weren't so many people willing to sell genetic blood to us, we would have come to you a long time ago, Valia said. Thank you for your hard work, my wife. Honey, do you know who gets the highest points this time? Huan Xingyi said mysteriously. Abi, you will never guess it. Murong Fer followed. Who is that? Yao Hongjing said. Who else could it be? Someone slaughtered enemies along the way. Although he didn't collect their heads, the satellite on the spacecraft locked onto you. And the enemy general you killed was so terrifying that he was actually worth 1 million points. Many of them said that no one can surpass your record. And with the other points added in, you have over 1 million points. Am I that powerful? Wu Xian said in surprise. Then he asked, what about you? We are not bad either. Biayu ranks second with 130,000 points. Yao Hongjing ranks third with 110. 0 points. C. Meyer ranks sixth with Itix's 1,700 points. Izu. After hearing this, Wu Xian was extremely satisfied. Overall, their scores were all in the top 100, you know. This is a ranking among more than 10 million people, which is extremely terrifying. Seeing Wu Xian chatting with his wife, Jin Zhenxuan smiled bitterly and said, Wu Xian, you guys chat slowly. I'll go get busy first. After he left, everyone relaxed. Husband, you don't know that the basic all-round combat skills taught to us by the god behind you are so powerful. If it weren't for this skill, I wouldn't have gotten such a high ranking. Zheng Xiao once said excitedly. She actually felt very inferior in her heart, because she knew that she was the weakest in the team and the least important in Wu Xian's heart. Yes, husband, the primary all-around combat skills are so amazing. Are there intermediate and advanced levels? Balio asked expectantly. Others are also looking forward to it. Of course there are. However, whether I can get it depends on my performance. If I spend money well and complete the tasks well, I can get various rewards. Honey, do you have any other tasks besides spending money? Judy asked in shock. The others also looked at him curiously. Yes, the missions are random, just like my mission this time, which is to collect 1,000 tons of genetic blood. Chapter 240, Alien Woman. No wonder you, husband, are crazy about buying genetic blood. Does the blood we collect for you count too? Izu asked. Yes, you are my wife, you are my part. And you are also approved by the gods, so of course it counts. And we will definitely help you, husband, collect genetic blood quickly. Everyone swore in their hearts that they must help their husbands complete the task as soon as possible. The spacecraft carried away the wounded and the bodies of the soldiers, and they would take care of their rest on their own. Honey, how are we going to spend the night? Murong Fir asked. Let's find a random place we can all live together. So it's safer, let us go and look for it together. Huaxian took the lead and just walked out. And I met a girl from the Sea tribe walking towards me. She looks no different from a human, except that her eyes are dark blue. She was very happy to see Huaxian. She trotted over and said excitedly, Brother Huaxian, can I be your friend? Valius and the others were speechless, thinking it looks like there will be another sister. They found that Huaxian's resistance to beauties of other races was negative. Just being ordinary friends, Huaxian